Hey, y'all, welcome to Streaming Matters, episode 61.
Jesus.
61.
What are you going to be like when we get to 69?
Episode
Oh
60.
my God. Yeah. Yeah.
When we get to 69, what are you going to be like? You're going to be like, damn, that's a nice
I was
number.
trying to flip around backwards there. I was going to show you. I'll show you.
This is the clitoris, and this is what we do with it.
Oh, Jesus. The two of you.
Blue pills are for. All right, so hey, Bass, I see Diana, Crypt, Chuck is in the chat. Hey, Jug, Ebony. Let's see, Donnie. I'll get back to you, Donnie, when I can. I was getting ready to get started on the show, and I saw that you contacted me through Telegram. I will reply back to you. His question was about something, a repo. Now that Maverick is gone, so I will get back to you about some of that stuff. Oh, okay. Well, Grindhouse. All right. So let's get going. Thanks for everybody watching. Thanks to Blue and Carl for coming on the show with us. How are you guys doing?
Good. Thank you.
I'm suffering with hay fever, but I'll get there, and everything else that's wrong with me.
He's broken.
I am broken. I went and had my belly button fingered yesterday by a doctor, and it's really
So you had
I have a hernia.
Hernia. Yeah.
I have a hernia, and I was on mainland Spain the other week, and gave myself a hernia, and I didn't want to, but it happened, so I had to go for a checkup yesterday for the second time, and the doctor was very kind and very warm and very loving, but played and manipulated my belly button like I was a teenage girl at prom.
I was gonna say I never played with a teenage.
You did when you were a teenager. I'm sure you did.
Not their belly button.
Well,
that was not the focus area, but well,
it felt really weird.
I hope you get to feeling better. That sucks. Anytime you got something broke.
It's broken. It ain't being fixed right now. Let me tell you that.
Mm-hmm. So, all right, guys. Thanks for people watching on the sides. Marvin, hey, thanks for joining. JJ Cord Cutter. We got most of our people that normally watch. So we got a few subjects we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about the news that's happened with, and I've got the information through Torrent Freak that I read through that. So that's where the information came from. So that give credit to him, and then if it's wrong, that's where I got the information. So take it for what it's worth. About supremacy, they had the Gaia update this week, or I should say yesterday. I think the Gaia update, and I'm having some problems with it. And reading through it, there is some issues with it. Some people are having issues with it. I haven't messed with it enough. But it does have some cool features. We're going to talk about that. And then we're going to talk about the subject matter about what is a dev, what is a fork, what is a clone, who can be a dev, how do you become a dev, how do you make a fork, who deserves to make a fork, who deserves to make an add-on, old school versus new school, old thought versus new thought. What is Kodi? Open source, not open source? Is it a closed off group where only the same people know anything? That's going to be some of the stuff we talk about. We'll talk about that in depth. So first, let's start off with supremacy. And that's the last show we did. We talked about the rumor was that supremacy might have been the one that was arrested. And through Torrent Freaks asking 1,000 questions and all these different people he asked, supposedly he's talking to the head investigator of this case, somehow confirmed that it was supremacy that was the target for their arrest, which is very sad to hear. And which, as we talked about last week, the domino effect of add-ons going away. So and I think I'm not too sure if many more went this week. Nothing off the top of my head. I don't know. Well, Blue and Carl, you guys don't keep track of add-ons, so you guys heard any that shut down this week that I might have missed?
Not that I'm aware of. We'll talk about that in a bit.
Okay. All right. So yeah, I none this week that comes off the top that I think of off the top of my head. But so yeah, that there was none really this week. But it is a sad thing to see some add-ons go away. Most of these guys are doing it for a hobby. Most of these guys are making no money. If they're doing anything, they end up using their own. It costs them to have a server or to do stuff. So, it's not worth the risk. And I do not fault a single person that would want to shut down because you're just you're doing this for free. And if you have a risk of getting in trouble, it's not worth the risk. So I hope that nothing goes really bad. I want to say the law enforcement agency, LEA, led the case. So FACT turned it over to LEA, which is in the UK, and supposedly they're the one that is spearheading this. Can hope that things go well for Supremacy, and hopefully that he's able to navigate through this and get out from under this, because he was just, again, doing this for a hobby, doing it, be it whatever services he was or was not offering. I don't know. But I just hate to hear that. So the other thing was Gaia's update, in which I thought was very interesting. One of the two things that was at the top of the list for the Gaia update was the cinematic experience. And what the cinematic experience is that it will play a trailer while you're scraping for a movie or a TV show. It will show you a trailer, and it has these like little curtains, and the trailer plays while it's scraping. And you can have the dialogue just sit there telling you that it's scraping and telling you the percentage, or it'll come down and say 25%, go away, and come down 50%. So I thought that was very neat, because we've seen that in Destiny. So I thought that it was neat that Gaia is paying attention to what other add-ons are doing, which that's normal in Kodi, to seeing what somebody else is doing and say, that's a good idea. I would like to implement some of that. So I thought that they implemented that in there. They also implemented binge watching, which was a feature where it scrapes while you're watching a episode. It scrapes while you're watching episodes to prepare for the next episode, so that you do not have to wait, which, if I recall right, didn't Bob do that?
Yeah, it had a queuing. Yeah.
It had a queuing, and then Destiny did that, because we
it's
talked
a cool
about
idea. It makes it more like Netflix.
Yeah, and so to me, again, Gaia paying attention to what some other people are doing and seeing a cool feature, and
not Gaia, for sure.
Not knocking Gaia for doing it. I think it's a great idea that if you have an add-on, you need to pay attention to what other add-ons are doing and say that's a cool idea, because there's not lots of original thoughts, So those are the two big things. He had lots of fixes, some user group stuff. They added some features. There's like 5 or 6 user group fixes that he had, and some other bugs. And as I was reading through Reddit, numerous people are having issues. Now, I installed it this afternoon, but then I had to leave and came back, and I haven't been able to do it. It installed fine. Went to Gaia 5 for me. But the issue I had is when I told it to do the cinematic experience. What it did for me is it would the curtains put over in there. It was the Gaia icon in this curtains, and it scraped, and then the trailer played 5 seconds before it was done scraping. So it was already kind of how it checks, like Destiny, as you know how Destiny will like check for cached and duplicate links. Gaia does that. So it's doing that, and then that's when it started the trailer, which I had it turned off to where it wouldn't play a whole trailer. Because why do I want to see a 5-minute trailer if scrape is only a minute long. So I have it stop trailer as soon as it's done scraping. So no one started the trailer and it went away. So, and as reading through it, there was some people that said you needed to rerun the settings. And if you know the wizard, you can rerun the wizard settings. It'll go through and you put your RD and all that information in there.
That is a really nice add-on, Gaia. It's a very, it's a very sturdy, you know, been around a while now.
I mean, it's not the fastest add-on, you know, and this isn't knocking it. You know, I'll give you the pros and cons to all the stuff. It is a slower add-on. It's going to take longer to do just about everything that I do.
But it gives you a crap load of good links.
And it gives you good details. You know, we've looked at it. It gives you all this detail about the link and the quality of the audio and the video. Tons of information. So it's a good add-on. But I think that they're going to have another fix very soon because to me, there's some bugs in there that they're going to have to fix. And anytime, you know, when you implement a lot of new code, there's going to be some problems.
Yeah. And it might not be the code is bad in general, but it might just be certain devices need to be tweaked a little bit or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So, so we got, that's kind of I kind of hated that it wasn't working right out of the gate. I was kind of surprised on that. I mean, it was on my Shield, but again, I didn't rerun the wizard. Maybe that's maybe I need to do that.
That's a lot of ums in there.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think. Well, you know what the problem is I'm reading and I'm talking. And
yeah, I know, and you're not very good at that.
I'm not very good at it. So that's kind of a sad thing to see it not go up. But give it a try. Give it some time. Let it kind of work out to see if
yeah, they'll fix it.
If they
a day or two, you'll see a new update, and that'll fix that.
And one of the things
wait, Todd, do you know if they have a Telegram group?
I do not know of a Telegram group.
I was just wondering if they have testers before they put stuff out, if they would like people
they have they have a website. They have a website and it's GaiaKodi.com.
Yeah, I think I've been there actually.
And one of the other things that they did some fixes for, or I saw some about Orion's API changed. Orion's API changed, and that could be a problem. But I didn't realize Orion, now that's a paid service, and what they supposedly do, and I've never signed up for it, but you can do a free service or you can do a paid, which is 50 cents a day. No, 50 cents a month, $1 a month, $2 a month, $3 a month. And it actually caches links or caches results for certain movies from other users. So let's say that somebody, and I'm guessing from the way I read it. So let's say somebody looked up Captain Marvel and they found these links, this 200 links. It will actually, Orion, I think, stores where those 200 links are. So say you're on a low-end device or bad internet, it can just grab that list and throw it up there without you having to wait for the scrape. So that is a neat feature, but you got to pay for that. And like you said, free is 50 free links a day. And when it's free, right, so 50 free links, meaning it can show you, it can pull 50 links daily that you're able to see it. But 50 links could be one movie. I mean,
exactly.
That can go pretty quick. 50 cents a month is 500 daily links. $1 is 2,000 daily links. $2 a month.
That's pretty cheap, though. Like, I mean,
it is, but you know, I'm not sure if I need it.
No, if you're already getting enough links from like the torrent stuff and the RD stuff, then yeah.
So it's another package, and it's integrated into Gaia, and using those. And like I said, from what I understand, so they're using data they're grabbing off of other people anonymously for certain movies, so that it's creating maybe a database, I guess, of here's the links for this and here's the links for that, and it just loads like that. I'm assuming the way it says, because it said it could load quickly on even low-end devices. So we'll see what happens with that. If you like Gaia, check it out. Give them some time to get a fix. They do have a Reddit page. You can go to that Reddit link and read up information and see what you want to do on that, and see what fixes. And that's really where I see all the talk on that. I do not see any talk anywhere else. So if anybody else here knows of a Telegram group, let me know. I do not see one. So yeah, so it to me it's another option. So one of our main topics that I wanted to talk about today is what is a fork? What is a fork? What is a clone? A fork, and we talked about this. If anybody's watched the last show that we did with Blue and I.
Last Sunday, yeah.
Last Sunday, yep, we did a show, and we were talking about how to fork Destiny. And I talked about that. What is a fork? What is a clone? And basically a clone, if you take one add-on, and then you say, well, I'm just going to change the name and the art, and then now I have my own add-on. All right, so that's a clone because everything is identical.
You haven't changed any code.
Yeah, no code's changed. Exactly. They're mirrored images other than art and a name. And then I say, well, you know what? I'm going to start changing the main menus. Hey, I'm going to take out these features. I'm going to add this code. I'm going to start changing it. And next thing you know, this, where they were clones, all of a sudden this becomes its own add-on. It starts to become more and more different. So that's the difference of a fork. Now you can take and just create a clone and put it out there and put your name on it or put whatever name and say, oh, look.
Yeah, it's not a fork like a utensil. It's a fork like a fork in the road. It's gone now in a different direction.
Right, exactly. And and as you add stuff or take away and it becomes its own entity, it becomes more of a fork and it becomes more and more different.
Like we were talking about today, Todd? Like a prime example of a fork that we've seen in our time in Kodi is meta to metallic. Now, anybody who's ever seen original meta, it's very basic. It's not a lot of functionality to it. And Q, I guess, originally back in the day, approached the dev about changing some things on it. And the dev wasn't really interested. So Q said, you know what? I'm going to fork this. So he used meta as a base, and then he built on it. And if you were to compare the two now, they're two completely different add-ons. Yeah. Even though it's based off of it's based off of meta, but he forked it to the point where you wouldn't even know it was the same add-on. So that's an example of a fork. If you have zero coding experience and you plan on doing zero coding to it, don't fork it. There's no point. If you want to maybe learn how to make an add-on and learn how to code, then yeah, having your own is a really good way to start because you can mess with it and screw it up, and you still have the original you can use actually on your devices to watch stuff. But in the meantime, you can test it. You can comment stuff out to see what that changes. That is one of the best ways to learn how to code in Kodi, in my opinion, is to have your own entity, your own add-on. You may not want to release it publicly until you actually learn how to do some coding on it. But for me, that's a fork. Like you got to learn how to code it. Can't just add a you can. Okay, this is a tough one now because if you're talking about Gen originally was made so that people could have essentially a bunch of forks of it. Because all you
created is a template.
Yeah, with the Gen template, what you were doing was you're renaming it and you were adding your own art, and then you were adding gen lists to it. So essentially 99% of people with a Gen did not change the code. Changing main URL does not change the code of the actual add-on. So they are playlisters more than devs.
Yes. And playlisters, again, not to knock on Phoenix or some of it, but Phoenix being an example of playlisters. If you look at, or I'll even use, what was that other one before Phoenix? The one that looked like crap, the green one.
Oh, you're talking. Oh, was that that wasn't a?
No,
you were talking about NaviX.
NaviX is another example of playlister, which you're just creating an XML pointing, and you have like categories, and then you point to this. In a playlister, Bob was playlisting, and Phoenix was a playlister.
But the difference though is okay. So taking it, Gen was meant to be a playlist add-on.
Yes.
Whereas Exodus is just Exodus. There's no playlist. There's no changing. On a playlist add-on, you'll go in and you'll change and you'll add a new section about horror stuff and whatever. Whereas old Exodus forks they were all essentially the same. People, ones that did fork them properly, added new features to it, added back the the library function, added back stuff that Genesis had and stuff. Gen wasn't necessarily. It might have been meant to be, people that learn how to code and stuff. The majority of people only ever changed it to look different by changing their playlist XMLs. They didn't touch the code. They waited for somebody else to come into Gen Group and update code or add new plugins or whatever, and then they implemented them.
Yeah.
But the cool thing about Destiny, though, is it's the same idea. Because he implemented Gen into it, most people, the reason they want to fork it is because they want to have their individual Gen in it, and they want to send that out to people, because now you've combined an Exodus and a Gen in one, which is kind of cool.
Right.
So for like having a Gen add-on is great, but now having a Destiny /Gen is even better, because the original code's in there. You can use multiple kinds of scrapers for your Gen and for that, so you're not just relying 100% on universal scrapers like you were in Gen. So it's kind of like the next evolution, I feel like. So when people are pissing and moaning about, oh, you shouldn't fork it unless you know code, I kind of feel a little bit, because of the Gen implementation, that it's okay to fork it, because now you're putting your own Gen into it. So you have essentially turned it into a different add-on.
Right.
Not the core, but content is different. So
that's the basic idea of what a fork in a code is, or fork in a clone is.
Meta and Metallic are the best examples.
Yeah. And if you want to do some research, look up Meta. Look up the Meta plugin, and then look up Metallic.
It's still probably in the Kodi repository, right?
Yeah, it is. And you can see where the difference is between the two. And that's a great example of what a fork is. So,
but if you grab Destiny and all you're doing is adding a Gen list to it, does not make you a dev.
Well, yeah, and that was. So one of the things was that somebody had mentioned to me about that, about devs, who's a dev, and there's no devs anymore in the Kodi community. And so that in a way, we have a whole lot less developers in the community than what we used to.
Yeah, they got scared away with letters and stuff.
Yes. So letters, people got letters. Some people were threatened letters, almost like what you saw with the supremacy thing. Not all those people got in trouble, but they saw one person get in trouble, and they all said, "Oh, whoa, he got in trouble. I don't want to be the next one on the news blog and tweets." So that happens. So what makes them a developer? There is less developers out there because most of them got scared away. But we have a problem now where there is a vacuum of where years ago you had a mentorship. You had some people that knew stuff and could show other people. And now we have a vacuum of people that had the knowledge have either left, or they've went into such small little groups that they only talk to people that they know and nobody else. And they don't invite nobody new into their group because they don't know if they can trust them. So whatever knowledge they know in their coding experience is stuck just inside that small group. Nobody else is able to be mentored by those people. And that creates a problem. And so you've got old school developers looking at it saying, well, you should go out there and learn this. Well, could you? Yeah, you could. If you have the time and the patience and the attention span to be able to learn this. But there's no the videos on this that you're going to find are very vague, and they're not user friendly. And you're going to have to trial and error and beat your head against the wall to learn. But you can learn, but it's going to take lots of time. And most people's patience, and they have no knowledge pool to reach out to and say, hey, I'm having this problem. And an experienced developer would look at that and say, oh, no. You didn't put quotes around that. And you need to have, question mark, comma, plus. You need to regex this. And they'd be able to tell you that very easily. Whereas, so that knowledge base is gone. So do you have the amount of developers? No. So what do we do? We just say, well, that's it. We'll just, close up shop. No one's going to use Kodi until somebody falls from the sky and is developing that.
Like we said, honestly, though, the best way to learn how to develop is to have your own add-on and mess around with it.
Yeah, and that is the way of learning. But in the past, we had that pool of people which we don't have anymore. And
the problem with nowadays is somebody clones an add-on, throws it out there with a different name, and goes, "Yep, I'm the new developer of this." No, well, no, you're not. You're a good cloner.
Yeah.
The problem with it, Todd, is too many people who aren't developers claiming they're developers. You and I made a private Destiny add-on. But you know what? We're not calling ourselves developers because we sure as shit ain't.
No. But I mean, we can do some stuff, but we can't. We're not
God,
no. We're not going to call ourselves developers, and that's the thing. So what ends up happening is, and I've seen this through some chats, that old school developers get their feelings hurt because some new guy that cloned something calls himself a developer. And so the old school developer who has knowledge, knows what he's doing, pretty knowledgeable, can do the stuff that needs to be done. Someone that is traditionally what you would consider a developer gets their feelings hurt because some newbie comes along and clones something, makes a couple changes, and says, "Look, I'm the new developer."
Yeah. But you know what? It's also get over it.
Yeah, I was just thinking, I want to say, toughen up, Buttercup, because just because someone else calls themselves a developer and they're not, how does that change anything you're doing? It doesn't. It changes nothing. So it doesn't matter and I'll use, and then this isn't a knock on Kodi apps, but most people say, "Oh, look at all the add-ons in Kodi apps." Let's say that they get to the top of Kodi apps on their list. So what? I mean, you're not making any money. You're not. If you developed a real add-on from the ground up and it's your full add-on and you're only at number 15 and some guy that cloned is at number 1, what does that change? There's nothing changed in your life. If
you're not losing money.
Yeah, it's not. We're not. It isn't market share. It's not any of that. We're not gaining. And I think that so. To me, I see a lot of what is a developer? A developer is someone that can code and do a lot of changes and understand why the changes.
Not when shit breaks, they know how to fix it.
Yeah, I mean, because like Blue and I, we can change some stuff, and we're not really sure why some of the stuff changes. When you look at the code, we can understand bits and pieces of it. We can't understand all of it.
No.
But a developer is going to say, "Oh no, this is all in here because of the regex. We're doing this and it's grabbing this and ignore this part." They understand why it's there. So I do see the thing about when we talk about creating a fork and we talk about creating fork, and I don't know how many times we said in the video, don't make a fork just to put it out there to be public. Make it for yourself. Make it private. Be something.
Well, and honestly, then what happens too is anybody who forks something that isn't going to put any effort into it, isn't going to try to learn, eventually that fork is going to die because you know what? They won't know how to fix it. Something will go wrong in it. People will get errors, and you know what? They'll move along to the next one.
Yeah, and I think about, you remember when we had that issue? Remember that guy that cloned everybody's XML? 2 years ago, and it had one add-on, and it had everybody's lists in it. I mean, it had all of Phoenix in there. It had all of Bob in there. It had all of UK Turks was in there. And probably Maverick and Supremacies back in those days had everybody's add-on in it. It basically had everybody's in there. And they released it. And remember, all the developers had a fit. I mean, they pulled their add-on. I'm going down until we get rid of this guy out of the community. All right, first of all, what's that doing? I mean, it's not going to do any good because
it's punishing the normal people that will use your add-on.
Yes. And the thing is that guy within a couple weeks got bored of updating those XMLs.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't his passion to keep that add-on up. It was his passion just to do something neat. And then, that's who it was, Mark. That's all he cared about, was to create this. He thought it was neat. And then maybe he was just trying to stir the pot. But
and get attention.
And then he got bored and moved on. Most of the times, these people that are cloning get bored pretty quickly.
I swear to God, that guy comes back like every year. Every year he does the same shit, and 2 weeks later he's gone again.
Yeah, yeah, and we haven't seen him in a while, knock on wood. But that happens. But the thing is, you can't stop doing what you're doing because somebody does something, some dumbass comes along.
Well, and I mean, some guy claims he's a dev. He'll be eventually. People will realize he's not. Well, and if they don't, whatever. At the same time, like you said, how does that affect anything? It doesn't. And Kodi apps. No offense to Kodi apps, but it's a crock of crap. Like, I mean, most of them, yeah, there's a shitload of clones on there. Because it'd be different if they had a list where it wasn't just clickbait. If it was actually, they actually went in and looked at each of these add-ons and figured out what was different about them and then rated them. Not this whole brand new add-on comes out. Of course it's number one because everybody's excited to see what's that? What's that? Click, 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 click. Number one. And meanwhile, it's an exact copy of somebody else's add-on.
Yeah.
Just a different name.
Yeah.
So no offense to Kodi apps, but the way they do it is wrong in my opinion. It's not their number one app is not the number one app. It's the most popular at this exact moment. And then 2 days later, after people have installed it and see it's crap, then they don't get any more clicks.
Yeah, usually you'll see these certain add-ons race to the top, and then after a week you see them drop because people aren't going back and using them. You'll see the same group stays in the same 5 to 12. They stay those all standard ones. So
yeah.
But that was one of the things the guy said. You know, the developers and said that no new developers were coming in the community because of all the people that are cloning and forking. That there wasn't any reason for new developers, which I call bullshit because because I don't see some developers saying, well, if there wasn't all these forks, I'd actually develop a new add-on. But
yeah, no, they're doing it anyway. Yeah,
they're all creating these forks. I'll have to wait till all the forks go away. No, well, that doesn't make sense. But and then one of his other points is why should a developer create something that someone's just going to clone? And
welcome to Kodi, honey. Welcome to Kodi.
That someone's just going to clone and take your credits out and take the credit for it. Okay, so you don't create something because somebody's going to clone it and fork it, which that's been happening forever.
Yeah.
That's going to happen. But you can't stop developing because you're worried that some jackass is going to do something stupid. You know what I mean? You just because some, and I try to think if there's something, you know, think of something in life that there's good aspects for. I mean, let's say medication. All right, so we have a lot of medications, pain medications. So let's say, well, we're not going to develop any new pain medications because someone's going to come along and abuse it and probably sell it on the corner.
Yeah.
Well, wait, you're going to not create something new because you think someone's going to abuse that and mess around.
Use everything, but yeah, you got to keep doing it anyway.
Yeah, you do what you got to do to move forward. I understand about developers being nervous about the legal issue. Completely understand.
Well, then don't put your name in it.
Yeah. Don't
put a fake name. Put a whatever.
Yeah, don't use your name. Hide. Be very careful of how you hide who you are. VPNs, all that shit. You do everything you can do to protect yourself.
Fake emails to make Git accounts or Pastebin accounts or whatever accounts.
And you know, you and I've talked about it. Guess what? Don't be the biggest add-on out there. And I've said it on builds.
No, they keep coming down.
I don't want to be anywhere near the top of any of those lists. And nothing against Kodi, but I don't want to be at the top of that list because then there's so much attention and you take down something at the top that draws more attention. If they take down somebody who's at the very bottom of the list.
Okay, look at the fact that, okay, we know something happened with Supremacy. We don't know if anything happened with every other add-on that went down within that week. It could have just been scared. Could have been letters, but it could have just been scared. But that's what happens. Is it happens to somebody important, and then people start to panic a little bit and go, "Oh shit, this isn't worth it. It's not worth me going to jail. How are my wife and kids going to support themselves?" You know what I mean? Over Kodi.
And the problem is that, and I'll use NAN for example. Our friends at NAN, when people created GitHubs. And when people created accounts on the forums, and that was years ago when you weren't really worried about being in trouble. There was nobody getting in trouble. So you used a real name on a server, and you used a real name, you know, because you were not even worried about it. And then Ace, Fact, whoever uses that information that's able to gather off of a public website, they're able to pull who you are. So, you know, and that's just a mistake because at the time, nobody was getting in trouble for it before. So now you have to hide behind so many things. And the thing about what concerns me with a lot of these guys that do the donations, money's traceable. Money's traceable unless you're doing Bitcoin. I think Bitcoin's probably the only thing not traceable. If you're using any kind of donation, PayPal, or any of that other stuff, that's traceable. So if people are donating money and you're like, hey, help my beer fund, or help me buy a new laptop, or help me buy, you know, help me take my family out to dinner, whatever the case is, that's traceable. And if you don't think that money can't be traced down to figure out who you are, that's the easiest way to track you down.
That PayPal is linked to your bank account.
Yeah, you have to verify that. You have to verify that that's you, that's your bank account. And I don't know if you can, I haven't, my bank doesn't really make it really easy for me to lie who I am. Because, you know, they verify who you are with your license and this and that. And then PayPal verifies with your PayPal. So, you know, people put themselves in dangerous situations when you put your PayPal and you put that, when you accept the donations. Hey, I'm just accepting donations. Great. Hey, accept whatever you want, but you're traceable. And IPTV, you know, there's money being transferred there, traceable.
Unless you're going through the Caymans.
Yeah, I guess you could go that way. I mean, but it's got to come back to your bank. And so, I mean, you set an offshore account, and I don't know.
I mean, who the hell knows how to friggin' go through the Caymans? Yeah. You know, Bob's living in his basement with his his paid IPTV service. I doubt he's using the Caymans.
But yeah, you know.
Hey, yeah. Did you see who joined?
Hey, Mr. ARB. Hey, this is nothing new. He never got a chance to talk when he was on the show before. Look, he's probably went away.
Here he comes. Here he comes.
I was blowing my nose.
Oh, well, thanks for muting that.
Welcome. I ain't seen you in forever, man. Hope that all's going well.
Good, good. I've been around. I've been watching. Confused. I feel like a noob. I feel like a total noob.
Do you hit the thumbs up and subscribe and all that stuff?
I'm the one that does the thumbs down.
Oh, he's like, ever since Kodi Matters, that was his thing. All right, you changed it from Kodi Matters. That's what we agreed on. Even with the streaming, man.
Yeah,
thumbs
totally
down.
Pushed us out of this. I created this show.
That's right. I was the damn mastermind behind the show, and look at you. Let's see. The true sidelines sidekick theme said the true developers should stay in the sidelines. Let these attention-grabbing cloners, Kodi puppets with repos of getting applauded, backing Kodi glory, getting served. And that's, again, that to me, it's almost, you stay in the sidelines, do your things. Don't set up a GitHub account. Don't set up, honestly, I don't think you should set up a repo. Don't set up a repo. Don't set up a PayPal account. Set up nothing. If you create something, create it because you want to. And that's the thing about most developers that I know that have done it. They didn't do it for the glory. They didn't do it to get the pat on the back. They did it because they wanted to create something. They had an idea. And they're like,
solve a puzzle.
Yeah, I think I'm going to
solve a puzzle to them, yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to create this. And this sounds like a cool idea. And I wonder if I can do it. And it's not been done. I'm going to try it. And they want to do it because it is a puzzle and they want to solve it.
Yeah, they're like mathematicians, coders.
But the thing is that I think that people fail to see that that's a lot of the developers doing it. They're not doing it for all of the, hey, thank you for that great add-on. That's good. I mean, again, they probably don't. It's okay, good thing. I mean, when I was doing my builds, it was cool to see someone say, hey, I really enjoy your build. My whole family used it. I haven't heard that in a long time, but I used to hear it. But I don't care really. So it's like, whatever. It works for me and that's all I care. But they're not doing it for the pats on the back, even though it's good. because they're always going to be told when something breaks. But they're
they get more people whining than they do pats on the back.
Yeah, and so that's the developers that are doing it for those kind of reasons. Developers are doing it just to get a pat on the back. They're not. They usually don't. They're I don't know. To me, they're in it for the wrong reasons, and they're going to get frustrated because they're going to hear a lot of bad things or hear downside. Mr. Jizz Planet, I see one of the guy that has one of the add-ons that I have checked. I have checked that add-on out quite a bit for quality control issues. I try to make sure that things like those kind of
quality control issues.
I try to make sure those kind of add-ons are good for the community. Thank you for your hard work. Your add-ons working just fine.
That's my son from Phoenix.
Ah, well, see, yeah, there you go.
Mama,
lost son. So we talk. What is a developer? And so that's most of the time, like I said, most of the developers are in it for the puzzle, not for, hey, look at me, look at a great thing I created. Does the cloners hurt that? I mean, all right, so I'll give everybody a chat. All right, so let me ask, Carl, are you in?
Yep.
I'm sorry. So now, in your opinion, and I 100% want you to give your thoughts, like a cloner, now do you see clones hurting, forks and clones hurting the community, helping the community, helping developers? I mean, what's your thought?
I think they hurt the community as such. I think everything has its place. What I think hurts the community as such is when, if you, like, for example, if a build maker puts together a build to distribute out, and they have like a series of add-ons installed, but all they have is essentially just like all the clones installed.
yeah.
Like, for example, if you take like Exodus and then you take one of the other clones and then install 3 of the same, just because the icons changed, all that's happening is you're just giving a user a bad experience, right? So if we forget about the people that are in the know and they're inside the community that are asking questions and getting help, someone picks up Kodi for the first time and they install my magical build 1, 2, 3, and it promises to give all the latest and greatest add-ons that gives you access to the content that you're not paying for. You install those and immediately you're presented with a screen that gives you 4 or 5 add-ons. To us, they're all the same add-on. They're all using the same scrapers. They're all doing the same thing. But to the user, they look like completely different ones because they've got a new logo, they've got a new name, the colors are slightly different, and the wording is slightly different. So they go to use it, and they're expecting to watch the A-Team, for example. The A-Team comes back, and there's no shows. They go, well, this is bad. They go to the next one, try the same thing. It fails. And then they start trying all the rest of the ones that are installed, and they get the same response. Immediately their interest is, well, this is crap, it doesn't work, it's a terrible system, it doesn't work for me. That is what's damaging the third party community. We have to be very careful in what we say the Kodi community, because we are not part of the Kodi community. We do not use Kodi for what it is intended to be used for. We are using Kodi to watch content that we haven't paid for, using third-party streaming services that are not necessarily legal or could be considered illegal, depending on which country you're coming from. But if you were to take your Gaias and your Exoduses and go into the Kodi.tv forums and say, hey, can someone help me with this? I guarantee you the first thing that you'll see is someone's foot up your arse and you'll get banned. We are not part of the Kodi community. We are part of the Kodi third-party community.
Yeah.
And they are 2 completely different entities, and people need to remember that, so that when they instantly see these builds with these add-ons installed and it doesn't work first time for them, or they haven't got the patience to understand what's going on, they immediately label Kodi as a bad thing. That is damaging what I consider to be the Kodi ecosystem. We then have people that fork add-ons. Now, forking add-ons isn't a bad thing, right? You have to learn somewhere. I was never born a Python developer. I learned Python because I wanted to learn Python through my career and through the fact that, Kodi was then, or XBMC at the time, was using Python as its add-on basis. So I wanted to try and play with it. So I learned Python. A clone will not allow you to learn Python. You'll get to tweak very simple files to change names, and that's about it. A fork will help you understand a little bit about Python, but fundamentally, you need to know the basis of Python to be able to fork a Kodi third-party add-on.
Yeah, the ABCs before you write a novel.
Yeah. If you don't know that, you're going to have a bad time. Back in the early days, we used to have some very good forums. So the Zunity had some very good forums that had people about getting help. Nan had some very good development forums and people were helping. And, you know, I hate to say them, but XBMC Hub, pre-Adam being a douche, their forums were actually quite good for getting some support on how to do certain things.
As long as you wanted to talk about his add-ons and nobody else's.
If you wanted to learn how the fundamentals of using or building your own add-on, they were good places to go. Now, unfortunately, we don't have those places because anything that's in the public spotlight is being targeted by people like Ace and Fact. With regards to going back to the build makers, I don't see build makers as a completely bad thing. I think they have their places. I just think that a good build maker will assess any add-on that goes in there and will have a good understanding of what it is that they're actually using before they put it into the system and then push it out.
Yeah, because I agree with that.
Your user, the person that serves you coffee in the morning at your local coffee stand, that comes home after a hard day's work, that has just kind of heard about this thing, has installed it for the first time, and is trying to use it, they don't fully understand. They're just seeing this thing in front of them, and they're expecting this build maker to have done the due diligence. A good build maker will do that. Unfortunately, there are not that many good build makers these days. There are a lot of build makers, though. When we think about how big this third-party community are, there's a very, very good number of build makers, but not all of them are as good as we would like them to be. And it's a personal preference. I personally would like people that are out there that wanting to learn, that they're wanting to play, or they're wanting to use this system. I would like them to be given information straight up first time. There are a lot of videos and YouTube videos out there from YouTubers. I'm not going to say any of their names, but will be like, install this add-on. It gives you the latest and greatest movies. Blah 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 blah. What they're just doing is they're selling it. They're not understanding what's actually gone into it and how it works. And unfortunately, by doing that, they are then targeting that add-on towards any bad press that Facts and ACE are going to come after them. But at the same time, to the users, they're not actually telling them, hey, listen, so installing this add-on is potentially going to get you in a little bit of trouble. Right?
Yeah.
You need to be aware that what you are doing is watching something that you haven't paid for, and technically, it's not a good thing. It's morally incorrect, and it depends on your country of origin whether it is illegal or not. And I know people in the group will be going, "Oh yeah, it's illegal," or whatever. It's whatever.
It's not everywhere.
The cut and shut of it is it's moral. It's immoral.
Yeah.
And there is a morality issue around it. But people, unfortunately, don't give users the right information and give them the right expectation of what they're receiving when they've installed an add-on or a build, or they're trialing something and everything like that. Going back to your point about gen add-ons and stuff like that, and how they allow people into the community to have a starting point, I think gen as a starting block is a very, very good starting block. However, I think that once you have mastered gen, I definitely think that you should then start looking at going elsewhere, because and I don't mean that in a negative fashion. I mean that as a positive growth fashion. If you are, there's going to come a time where you are going to want to break the foundations of what gen does or its interoperability, because you want to be able to do something different. And sometimes gen might hinder that. So then you'll suddenly start building your own plugins that then build into gen. And now you're a developer.
I was actually, Carl, I was just going to say that would be a good next step, is building a plugin for it.
Yeah. So you now become a developer. So to me, a developer is someone that is literally writing code. And there are developers that sit there and write scrapers. There's a developer that sits there and writes themes. There are developers that sits there and write integrations, custom add-ons from the beginning. And those guys are the developers. They're the ones that make the real bread and butter of how this thing works. Back in the day, we had some very, very good developers, but you know, as Todd has said, this is a hobby, right? If someone came after me and said, right, you're developing add-ons and we want you to stop. If you don't stop, we're going to serve you with this notice. I tell you now, see you later. I ain't talking to none of you again. Maybe the 3 people in this video, and maybe a couple of people outside of that, but the rest of you, I'm gone. You ain't ever going to hear from me or see me again.
Yeah.
I'm not putting my family and everything at risk just because of a hobby.
You know what? When you were just talking about the fact that, remember back in the days, like some add-ons, we're not one guy. Do you remember when it was Jason PC, Cool Wave, and somebody else? There was 3 guys, and they were all in charge of different aspects of the add-on. Do you remember that?
Yeah. So Cool Wave was your editor for like your visuals. He was
GUI,
really good in your GUIDs. And Jason PC was very good at your integrations. And he wrote some very good custom integrations back in the day for iStream, and iStream was amazing. iStream for me was one of my favorite add-ons ever and mashup. So I think we have to be very careful in what we do. And for anyone out there that wants to build add-ons and wants to start somewhere, have a fucking go. Just try it. But do yourself a favor. Learn to crawl before you can run and walk and whatever.
Yeah.
Don't take someone else's hard work, rebadge it, and then try and palm it off as yourself. Because the first way that you're going to really sort of understand this community is if you try and defraud them.
Yeah.
We are a tight-knit community. A lot of us know each other from different groups.
And we'll call you out.
And we'll call you out. We'll straight away just sort of go.
That's not to say that you can't take somebody else's add-on and fork it, but you know what? Keep it private and work on it.
Yeah.
Develop it. Don't send it out to your 10,000 followers the day you friggin' fork it. Work on it.
Yeah.
Know what it does.
So Phantom has just raised a question, right, which I wanted to ask and answer, and he's put to the panel, do you think YouTube plays a big part of an add-on and APK closing down because they're putting in the public eye? Excuse me. That's a double-sided thing, right? Because without YouTube, some of these add-ons would never be public, or some people would never be able to learn how to build a Kodi add-on or how to use a playlist or whatever. There is a very common theme that a bad YouTube video or a very in-depth YouTube video about a particular add-on and its functionality when they click play and then showing it actually playing content, that then gets a target and gets taken down. If you preview an add-on and actually don't press play, well, you're not really doing anything there that can cause any sort of material damage. And that's my personal view. That's not the view of the Kodi third-party community. But I genuinely think that we need YouTubers, but then at the same time we don't want them, but we're not gonna argue with them because they are there to help promote the community. They're there to help promote the help and support and the people that are out there building these things for fun, not money. Unfortunately, there are some YouTubers that will quite happily take your money. There are YouTubers out there that will fill you with bad information. We all know of some of them. There are YouTubers out there that just genuinely want to get their name in front of people and are only happy when they get a silver tick or they get a little plaque from YouTube that says, "Hey, look at me, I'm superior than you." And those to me are the bad YouTubers, because I don't tend to get on with those guys, because some of them, and not all of them, because there are a couple of them that are all right, but most of them will tend to be, I am far more superior than you because I've got 100,000 more subscribers than you. Great, well done. That's fine. Go and wank off in a building. I don't really care. But I think a YouTuber has its place. A bad YouTuber, I'd love to get rid of them, and there are a few of them, but we need to really just sort of understand that they are there to help. But at the same time, if you're going to review an add-on, make sure you get the permission of the add-on developer before you go ahead and do that, because some add-on developers might not necessarily want you to talk about their add-on. So I don't want my add-ons being spoken about. I do have my own Kodi add-ons. I have a couple of porn add-ons. People know that I've got Just For Him and Let's Be Friends. I also have News 12 free, which pissed off Husham, and it will always remain out there as a free add-on, despite him wanting to charge for it. But I don't want my add-ons in videos. I'm happy for build makers to put them in there as long as they ask me, just simply because I want to limit my exposure and who gets to see my add-ons. Because despite the fact that it's porn and it's not, you know, Avengers Endgame and everything like that, there are laws and legislations that are coming into the UK where I'm a resident that will prohibit me from watching porn. And this is a way to bypass those things, which could ultimately land me up as a developer in trouble.
And I have done quality controls on his also. Just for the community, and they work well. So
I think everybody in the community should thank you, Todd, for all the porn add-on testing you've done for them.
You know, and that's, you know, it's about the community here. It's about the community trying to help.
Oh, and that's what you tell me every day, honey. Well, sorry, I can't chat right now. I just got to check out this porn add-on to make sure it's good for public consumption.
I'm checking these links. Hold on a second.
As a resident of the UK, right, a lot of the developers that have been shut down, or a lot of the repos or add-ons that have been shut down these days, tend to be UK based. There are a number of US residents that have, or Canadian residents that
have. Yeah, there's a few for sure.
Are UK based, and it's hard for us in the UK. You know, we have a lot of things that are more beneficial to us as a nation. You know, free healthcare and whatever. We pay for it in different ways, but essentially we have it in a different way to America, and Canada has a better health system than us. But as a nation of people that essentially don't want to pay for anything because we're all miserable bastards, our legal system is a lot more strict. So if we are caught distributing Kodi add-ons that allow you to watch something for free, the legal system in this country is so twisted that they might actually twist it in a different way and actually say that you're defrauding someone, which carries a higher sentence. Where in the UK am I from? Well, I'm from London. I don't live in London anymore. I'm near Manchester.
London. So there's a song, London Comics.
London, yeah.
So
it's a very difficult thing for people in the UK to do. But we are probably one of the largest consumers of Kodi third-party add-ons out there, just simply because we're tight.
You have to have a TV license too, right?
Yes. So if you in this
For
country,
BBC,
yeah, if you have the ability to receive live channels, you have to pay for a TV license, because the honor is that if you can receive live terrestrial TV. You can receive the BBC, which you then have to pay for as a TV license, which is it's £140 a year. Doesn't sound like a lot of money, but for people that don't watch live TV, immediately they're slapped with this bill and they're on the defence to have to prove that they don't watch the TV for that particular reason. If you go into a store and buy a TV, they take your address, and that's because they are presuming that you are going to watch live TV. And they'll send you a bill from the TV licensing agency that says you've got to pay for this. Even if you buy something like Sky or Virgin, you still have to have a TV license, even though you're paying £100 a month.
Holy crap!
Yeah,
free over the air. Go US.
Because of the BBC.
Yeah, because of the BBC. The BBC, the nation, the corporation that can't stop children from being touched by dirty old men. They want us to pay for their rights to watch TV where we don't even watch the TV channel.
And now they want the elderly to pay. Well,
yes. So we're a difficult country to live in from that perspective. But we are the biggest consumer, I think, of add-ons, and a lot of our YouTubers have been served and are backing away. We have some absolute horrible vermin in the community that are from the UK. Everyone knows of the initials A and C for one particular guy. He just basically he's dangerous. He's cancerous to this community. He likes to misinform people. He likes to take things that are not his and palm them off as his own. He likes to remove things from the official repository of the person that's developed it and distributing it and put it in his own one, which means that he could, be distributing bad things. He's just a really bad person. He's a terrible, terrible person. But
I don't know why you don't name him. You should name him.
I don't want to. This is Butcher's chat. It's up to him if he wants to name. If he wants to name, he can say his name, but I won't.
Well, that's Alan Coleman.
I'll say the name.
Alan Coleman. Yeah, I'll say it.
Yeah. Okay.
Alan Coleman.
It's okay, Carl. Go ahead.
Yeah. Thank you for naming him. Yes, he's a notoriously difficult, challenging person in this community, and yes, he's quite rightly a cunt. A lot of people would love to give that guy a swift kicking. I'm not saying that I would like to do that because for legal reasons I'm not allowed to say that. But
you would.
Oh, of course I would. And you guys know the size of me and know what I used to do for a living, so I think I can pretty much handle myself if I need to. But no, he's just a challenging individual. But he's not the only one. There are a lot of people like him. But he's more public facing than everyone else. And he unfortunately just went the wrong way. There were a couple of
and again, he also, what he's seen, I think I always try to look at how are people's views. I think he sees that he's trying to help the community because he finds
he's trying to help.
He's like, here's a new add-on. Here's an add-on. But more times than not,
in a bad way.
In our group, they'll say, I didn't want my add-on to be public. I don't want it out there like that. And he'll put it out there and he puts it on his website. And then he has a list of all these repos and and it's like, wait, why are you putting all this? Because sometimes these people don't want their information out there like that. Mm-hmm. And he's like, I think in his own mind, he thinks, oh, well, it's out there public. You know what? I mean, not everybody that's creating for Kodi wants to be public. Maybe
that's the excuse to give, isn't it? That's the excuse to give. Well, if you didn't want it out there, don't put it out there.
Yeah,
well,
that is his excuse, and he has used that a number of times.
Well, and the sad thing is back in the day, you thought the only way to be able to distribute a proper repo was through GitHub. Yeah. So of course you put it on GitHub. You didn't realize that people would be like surfing GitHub for your stuff, and then going all of a sudden this is public. Well, not really.
Yeah, it wasn't too common until TV add-ons made that GitHub browser.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that made it worse.
Which made it very easily to scan through new stuff.
Yeah, it just probably looks for plugin.video or plugin.program.
Yeah.
And pulls it.
I mean, you can obviously go to GitHub and do that search yourself, but this was just putting it in front of the people in a really distasteful way. The thing about this third-party community is that we're all very close-knit because we're all in it for the same reason. We want to watch something that we haven't paid for. That's it. That is essentially what it comes down to.
I know, it cracks me up every time you say it, though.
You have a third-party add-on that is streaming movies. You're watching it because you haven't paid for it, and you're happy to watch it, and you know that that's why you're doing it. We're all in this thing for the same reason. We want to watch something we haven't paid for, and we all want to try and help other people. There are some people that want to try and make a name for themselves. They want to try and make out that they're bigger and better than other people. Do you know what? Those people will come and go. And this community overnight will always change. We will always see developers leave. We will always see new developers come. We will always see new forks. We'll always see forks go. We'll always see clones. And this will never change. It will always happen because it's the quickest way for you to get a name for yourself, or to think that you're helping. And it's not always the case. You're not always helping by doing that. If you are a YouTuber and you're watching this and you want to promote someone's add-on, take 2 minutes, ask them first, okay? Because they may or may not want your details out there. I had a very public blast at a build maker because he put my add-ons into one of his repo systems. I went apeshit at the guy because I didn't want my add-ons outside of my own repo being distributed in his system. He then had his own YouTube channel talking about the builds and such. And what he was doing was taking the traffic away from the place where all the fixes and all the updates were being made. So I got really annoyed about that. And I just said, look, you didn't ask me. You should have come to me. I'll quite happily let you do it. But because you haven't, I'm going to be a dick. Take them out. Because if you don't take them out, I'll disable them from every one of your boxes that you've got. That is possible. We know of code that was distributed by TK Norris that can prevent add-ons working in certain repositories by matching the MD5 of an image that is distributed in that build. That code's still out there now, so it can easily be done. But I lost my shit with this guy because I didn't want him doing that. Nowadays, I really don't give a fuck. I don't care. But at the same time, I don't want people knocking on my door. I have all of my domain names and such are hidden identity, but if Ace or Fact really want to get my address details, it'll take them 5 minutes and a really nice letter to a hosting company that will get my details very quickly. I run my own hosting company, and I promise people that I will do everything I can to prevent you from being found out who you are. But at the end of the day, if someone comes knocking on my door and says, you're hosting this add-on, give us tell that person to take that add-on down, or we're going to take your house from you. Guess what? You're losing your add-on. I'm not losing my house.
Right. Yeah, and that's what most developers kind of run into. Mr. Andrew, I'm going to give you time to.
Yeah, listen, I'm gonna shoot because I've got things to do tomorrow. But I appreciate you letting me come on and let me have my say about that because it's something that I like to talk about. But yeah, I'm sorry that for people that were listening and it felt like I was ranting and moving. I wasn't. I just had a lot to say, and I should probably have my own platform to say it. But I think that would wouldn't go down very well. So I'm very appreciative of coming on here, especially with all my shit going on at the moment. So thank you very much.
Well, you're our friend, and we've known you a long time, and that's the thing about with Kodi. I have friends from all over the world. It's so cool to have friends that that you get to know and get to know people, and you don't have to live in the same town with people to actually be their friend and care about them.
And I'm trying really hard to either come to Canada or to come to your town. I'm not saying where because I know where you live, if you remember. I'm trying as hard as I can to get over there at some point.
Well, or either that or we'll come to you.
I am fine with that. Anyway, listen, I'm going to go. See you guys later.
Okay.
See you later.
Later, Carl.
See you, Carl.
So I know Mr. ARB he's out of the loop. So any thoughts that you have on all the add-ons? I mean, you're always out of it.
Like which add-ons? Listen to this conversation. It just sounds like the same kind of conversations we've had in the past.
Yeah, totally does.
I wouldn't be able to talk.
Shit.
I wouldn't have anything to say on current add-ons, because I don't have a clue what's what. But going back to the question that somebody asked before about, do you think YouTube is affecting people taking on add-ons or whatever? I would say not just YouTube, more social media as a whole. It's Facebook pages and it's Twitter and probably Telegram to an extent, all these Telegram groups. Mm-hmm. I think these Telegram groups are the new Facebook group.
Mm-hmm.
That's where everyone goes for their information, and that's where the sly people go to get their exclusives or whatever. I wouldn't say YouTube is the main problem.
Well, and I think that with some YouTubers, for me, I don't do a lot of add-on videos unless someone asks me to do one, and they'll say, hey, can you do a video on this? And I try to focus it to certain aspects of why it's different instead of, hey, there's a new add-on, I'm going to try to beat everybody to it. One of the things about YouTube, though, they've shut down most of those guys that were doing videos for stuff like that. They shut all their channels down because they got so many copyright strikes. They shut their channel down. And for me, I'm trying to avoid that because I want to do stuff. I want to inform people, teach people about stuff that you're not going to hear other places. You're not going to hear this kind of conversation going on many other YouTube channels. You're not going to hear from people that to try to help you and on the aspects that I do. There's going to be lots of videos that show you how to do other parts that, you know, if they're wanting you to show you how to set up a box or set up sticks or to distribute.
Todd, one of the things that I like about you is that it's not always the best build and the best add-on. This is the best. If you'll be honest and you'll say, you know what, it's got some kinks in it. You know, maybe they'll work through them. Hopefully, you know what I mean. Whereas as opposed to a lot of them are just best build ever and best, you know, add-on ever. And meanwhile, you'll be honest with people and say, yeah, this is great. It is great. It's got good foundation. Needs a couple kinks worked out. You know what I mean? That's the difference for me.
And I usually try to message the developer, whoever made it first. The only best build I ever did a video for was ARBs. And I said the best build ever. And then it was so funny because I said that was the title, because you know that you always saw that. So I said best build ever. And what was it? The all-in-one or something like that. And I had that up as the title. And then at the bottom I said, yeah, this has all the add-ons you'll ever want. I said, it's so great. I said, it's walked my dog. It makes me breakfast and even makes my coffee important. And I said, and it even leaves my milk money under the cup. That's why this is the best add-on out there. So I was kind of playing tongue-in-cheek, being kind of funny about it. Someone posted in the comments that, how can you say this is the best add-on or the best build? It doesn't have this and this add-on in it. And I'm thinking, didn't you read the comments? I mean, being tongue-in-cheek, being kind of funny, it was a knock at it. And obviously he read the title and watched the video and was like, oh, well, this doesn't have XYZ add-on. How can it be the best?
See, the best part about that, though, is it really was the best fucking add-on out there.
Well, it was sad.
Your best build ever. Hey, Andrew, best build ever, buddy.
It was. I'm not gonna lie. Better than the Beast.
it was close.
10 times better than the Beast.
Yeah.
Spelling is better than
Your spelling was better.
And it was only a tenth of the size of
good spelling.
Because I had
a TV guide that worked for at least 2 hours.
Oh, that was so fun. All right, so ARB, he's very methodical when he was doing stuff. So back in the day, you guys remember the TV guides, and you'd have the IPTV services back when we had Stalker and all, and he would go through and you had to link the channel to the IPTV channel, and you'd link it.
Wasn't that Lee's? Didn't Lee have something like that?
He did. They had that one, but I don't.
TV Portal Nan had, but this was when iView was free.
Yep.
But you didn't have to have a username and password for it. Or like Renegades as well.
And I remember
he linked it all?
Yes.
Every channel, yeah. To like where it was when IPTV Stalker was a free and everyone loved it.
Yeah. And you'd spend like 2 days and the thing would work. He was like, here, I'm releasing an update. And he would release an update and he's like, oh, everything's working flawlessly. And then boom, the damn IPTV would change and all the channels would be wrong. He's like, damn it, all my channels. And it would be 2 days of work just throw out the window because nothing was linked anymore. It was quite funny, but it was a lot of work. And I never I didn't care about TV Guide, but ARB.
You and me were on a hideout talking once, and you were like, "Oh, what are you getting up to?" I was like, "Oh, I'm just doing my build, and I finished this. I'm just linking up the TV Guide." And you're like, "Oh, I don't mess on the TV Guide. Just let them do it themselves."
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh, I like to have everything linked for them because I don't get loads of questions and stuff."
Yeah.
And I was like, "I've just about done it now. I've got every channel linked. It's working perfectly." And then I'd release it the next day, and I'd send Todd a message and say, "None of the channels have worked. Just all the links just changed."
It was funny.
So I stopped doing that.
Yeah. I think it was after you had done it like twice, and he's like, "Shit, forget that anymore." I was like, "I told you," because they would change it. Because remember, there'd be a new stalker, and they'd change it, and this and that, and it would be such a pain. And the thing is that you get a couple of pats on the back, but you would spend all that time trying to fix that. And same thing with when I used to do builds, and I would create all those subcategories, and they would link inside all the add-ons and let the add-on do an update, and all the subcategories were dead. The sublinks would be just screwed because they changed the main menus.
That's why I love Estuary and 2 add-ons.
Yeah. Well, now I'm completely. I do things completely different than what I used to. I mean,
I burned out of builds, so I did them for so long that, you know what, I don't care anymore. I want estuary. I want a couple of add-ons I know that work, and I'm good. I don't care about pretty backgrounds. I don't care, especially because 9 times out of 10 I'm using it on my PC, and usually I'm wiping it to test people's add-ons, people's builds, people's whatever. I haven't used a build in a while. I think the last one I used was yours, Todd.
Yeah. I think that was because I installed it on her Xbox when I was there. I was like, "You don't have my build." She's like, "Oh, don't I?" I'm like, "Yeah, let me fix that." Probably
Yeah.
After I left.
Promoting.
Hey, Mr. Griff, how you doing, buddy?
I'm okay. I was fighting with this fucking MacBook. I couldn't get on.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's had trouble. Good old Apple.
Fucking my new laptop arrives tomorrow. I can't wait.
Yeah. Oh, someone asked the question, what about Pipkin? You know, I don't know what happened to Pipkin. Pipkin with man, then Pipkin started helping Dexter. He was helping Dexter and got hung up in that whole circle of people. And and I don't know exactly, once he got hung up in that and the whole money train that was going on with all that IPTV stuff, I don't know what happened to him. I really don't.
Yeah,
Good guy.
just like disappeared.
Huh?
He was a
He
good
just
guy.
disappeared. I thought he was a really good guy, nice guy, and like when he had a lot of great ideas. He had really good ideas, but he did some really good add-ons. And I remember when he was with us, he wanted to do loads of different stuff, but like Lee at the time, Lee wanted to do things his way.
Yeah.
And I think Pipkin just got like a bit frustrated with that, and then he got talking. He started going on the Husham thing, and then he got talking to those guys, and then he got involved with what was that one?
Dexter's TV.
Dexter.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then as soon as that went paid, like everything that he brought out after that, even like his own stuff, was just like it had some sort of money involved. You had to pay something.
Yeah.
It
all.
And then it kind of disappeared.
Yeah, it was like when Dexter and all them guys, that whole circle of IPTV, and it went from free to up to $10-12 a month.
I remember that.
It was, and money corrupts, and that can be a cliche, but it does.
It does.
When money gets involved, people's the moral compass changes.
Yeah.
Because what is right and what's wrong changes when money gets involved, and the more money that's involved, the more that compass may swing one way or another. And honestly, when you get into this IPTV stuff and everybody's in it, and that's going to pop at some point.
Or YouTubers that had 125,000 followers and was making money off of it, then their videos stop being good videos and end up being best build.
Yeah.
Clickbait.
And then they get kicked. And then they get kicked off YouTube.
Yeah. Or selling VPNs and but I mean. And you know what? If people want to sell stuff, that's fine. The only thing I say is, it's my opinion. What other people do is their own. But if you're going to sell something, research it, stand behind that product, whatever that product is, and make sure that they're giving a good service because your name is on it.
I'll just be an honest prostitute and go and sell your ass.
It's like all the prostitutes. You're supposed to actually check them to make if you're a pimp, you're supposed to make sure that all your girls are worthy.
No, just be honest. Just be a hoe. Just go and sell yourself.
Yeah, well, it happens, but it's sad that that some of that happened. And for me, I think that YouTube can be good and bad. I think that if it's used in the right way, it can help you. And again, it goes back to with me over time, I've tried to I want my videos to be more teaching. Yeah, and they're not teaching the newbie. To be honest, if you're a brand new Kodi user, my channel is not even going to be considered unless you've been in Kodi for a while. That you may find some of my videos helpful because you got to have some base knowledge of what I'm talking about, because what I'm talking about,
you need to know how to install from zip, etc.
Yeah, that's why this channel. Yeah, that's why this channel's like the only Kodi related one that I still watch or pay attention to. Not just because obviously because we're friends, but just because I like what you talk about, and I like the people that come and talk in the chat, because it's like a niche kind of group of people. Is it because one minute we can be talking about something everyone's interested in, the next minute we could just be like waffling on about code and stuff that like noobs are like, what the fucking hell are they talking about? But like it's never changed. They've never like tried to change the videos or the chats from anything like complicated to simple stuff.
Yeah.
Like what all these other YouTubers talk about. So it's ended up just keeping the same group of people in the chats and the same group of people in the hangouts.
Yeah. And
we all just have, everyone's just interested in what's being talked about, and we can all just have a good crack.
And I've always offered anybody that wants to be in the show to be on the show, that to get new people. Like when Twilight was on last week, and Twilight said, he told me, he says, I'm not going to be on any more live shows. He says, because when I was on, he says, I had all these things I wanted to talk about, and then I started to talk. Then once the show goes live, I went blank about what I wanted to talk about.
Tell him next time to write them down.
It happens. I mean,
yeah.
ARB remembers some of our early shows, and oh my Lord, it was a cluster.
Oh,
I still get nervous on here.
I remember the very first two shows were like on Metallic.
Uh-huh.
And like straight off the bat, you were like, so like we had only tested out Metallic a few times before it got released, and then we did the Kodi Matters at the time on the add-on, and straight off the bat, you were like, so what is Metallic to you? And I was like, what the fuck kind of questions? And if you go back and went back and watched that video, I'm just like, I probably babbled through the answer. At first, I'm like, I'm trying to think, what actually is it?
Yeah, it was. We did those first two videos, and we talked about a lot of stuff. And I loved having Q on there. And Q, remember Q that one time
laying in his bed with a lava lamp beside him.
He's like in this bed, and you see like about this much of him, and he's kind of just hanging. A hair all kind of scruffy.
Todd, he had a lava lamp going in the background behind him.
Oh my God,
total hippie.
When I went back and watched that, I crack up because he was just, and he was feeling pretty good.
Yeah,
he was relaxed.
He's such a cool dude.
He's such a great guy. But it was, we're having a conversation, and he's, and he would give an answer, and again, it goes back to a lot of times when we talk to Q and Mid, they would be, because ARB and I were so new to everything, we'd be talking at this level, and we knew like this. So they were talking about, I don't know what the hell he's even talking about, and but yeah, it was good times. I mean, it was fun.
Yeah,
and this show
was fun.
I've tried to have people on. I used to pimp out and try to ask. I'd ask and PM people or DM people, hey, come on to my show. And it got to a point where I don't care if someone wants to come on and they say, hey Todd, I'd like to come on your show. I want to talk about blah blah blah. Come on. But I'm not going to go out there now and to spam all the groups and all this and that just to try to pull in a person that doesn't want to come on. If you want to come on and share some of the stuff you've learned, cool.
Todd, all you got to do is direct me. I'll get them.
Yeah. I mean, I tried to bring some of the old school developers. I posted in one of the groups there, hoping that somebody would show up, but that didn't go so well. So, because I wanted a not conflicting, but I wanted a different point of view about forking, because most old school developers hate forking. They hate people forking stuff, which it's funny because most of them are using Exodus forks. They're private, and most of them have an Exodus fork that they maintain.
Yeah, so they fork too.
Yeah, they forked it, but they don't want anybody else forking and putting it out there. So it's like, what the? That's double standard. But yeah, I wanted to have some on to talk about that because, like I said, I had a guy with his comments and said that our last show was hurting the community, wasn't helping the community. And
learning how to fork is hurting the community.
Yeah, I thought
Kodi.
I really felt
what was the last show?
The forking. Editing and forking Destiny. I thought we did a good job.
It was Todd and I last Sunday.
Yep.
All right. What was hurtful about that? Why did he say
forks are bad, ARB. Forks are bad.
We were encouraged.
Forks are bad.
we were encouraging
right.
people to fork, and that's
Jesus Christ.
they weren't learning coding. That we were just learning them. We were just teaching them to fork, and that really wasn't helping the community and wasn't forcing them to learn to code. And I'm sorry, you're not gonna force someone to learn to code, and but we were gonna flood the market or flood the community with forks of the same old add-on.
Too late. Too much late, dude.
And the other thing is we said over and over during the video, don't fork it just to put it out there public. If you're gonna fork it for your public use, like Blue and I for us. I haven't put it out there to be put
and
out
change
there.
it.
And
change it. If it's not going to change it, don't use the original.
And so
that's the thing people don't understand about forking. I think a lot of them just assume it's the same as clone.
You're
like what you're trying to tell people though is like fork it the correct way. Take the actual add-on, but then improve on it, or share with the original developer something that you've came up with that makes the add-on better. If you don't want to actually bring your own add-on out.
See, Andrew, I use the example of Meta versus Metallic. How Q approached the dev originally, and wanted to, to see if he wanted to implement some cool changes. The guy kind of said no, so Q forked it, and then if you look at the two now, they're two completely different add-ons, like night and day.
And I think after a while anyway, that add-on kind of went dead Meta, didn't it? The guy just didn't. He even told him. He told KO, I don't have time to code it anymore. But if you want to do that code, then be my guest. So he did.
And it was you're exactly right. It went its own direction and created its own thing, and it was a cool thing. And I want to say now, so there is a few since our last video. There's been 3 public clone or forks of Destiny, and that would be Destiny of Death Star, Kal-El, Destiny of 7 of 9 are the 3 that I know of that are a public one. I do know there's people that are making them for their own private use, but those are 3 that I know that are out there as public ones. And Kal-El, that got released, and he's still working on that. And then, guys, there's going to be some learning curve and changing. And at first, they may not look too much different, but as time goes, you should see things change and go their own direction. And that's the whole what you always hope for. Look at who's just rolled up in the house. Carrie, you got your camera on too, babe. Just so you know.
I fucking hate hangouts on there, so I do. Is that off now?
It's above reunion show.
I fucking hate it.
Fucking hate when it's on there.
Look at this is an old Bob group.
Yeah, old school.
Old school.
Well, who's going to start fighting then?
Used to be
the odds on people arguing are either me and Kara or me and Griff or me and Blue.
No, I don't argue anymore.
There's a common denominator there.
Yeah. You 3.
That is actually really funny. There's a common denominator there. I don't argue anymore, Andrew. I'm done. I'm not anymore.
Yeah. I don't argue.
I don't argue. I'm just really strongly want to get points across.
And he strongly wants you just to agree with his
That's
point.
Hilarious. That's hilarious.
You're very articulate.
Yeah, he is.
And hey, I will say this: there is very few people that I know that can argue that it's articulate as ARB is. When he was used to get on Twitter or on the forums or Reddit, classic. He could when he got a goal or a PVA going. He was so articulate, and he's one of those people that can remember things very clearly. My memory is kind of foggy at times, and I'm like, I remember something. Now he can tell you the exact day that happened or however that happened. And
you mean he holds a grudge like a redheaded stepchild?
Damn straight he does. Totally does. And my God, I would know I was completely 100% right about something, but by the end of the conversation, I'd either give up or he'd have me turned around.
9 times out of 10, you just give up.
You should have, Andrew. You should have been a lawyer, man. You could have won like every case easily.
I could have been my own at one point.
We're close. It was close. So, all right. So, hey,
I can't do that anymore anyway.
It's too close to be funny.
Hey, can anyone give me a heads up on a good laptop? So, Diana wants to know about a good laptop.
Griff's quite good at all that. He always gives me the deal, like sends me the deals. Griff's quite good on that.
I've just ordered. I can't even see it. A Huawei, whatever the fuck they're called.
How are you?
Oh, isn't that the ones that had the friggin' bad friggin' app
Security
shit
issue.
going on?
Hey, I thought Trump said don't get that one.
Yeah, because Trump just wants the NSA to spy on you. He doesn't want the Chinese to spy on you. I don't give a fuck who spies on you.
I want the Chinese spying on you. I'm spying on you.
Oh, Jesus.
You can come and look at porn on my laptop anytime you like.
I know that anything with an Intel processor is usually good. An i5 maybe.
Yeah, it's not Core i5. I've got.
Depending on how much you want a terabyte of storage. You know, was it usually 8 gigs of RAM?
I guess it depends on what you want to use it for.
Yeah.
Right.
It's a Huawei MateBook 13, so it looks like a MacBook, but it doesn't have the awful fucking software.
Screw Apple.
No, it looks nice. It looks cool. It just doesn't have the fucking Mac OS that's a pain in the ass.
See, I have an iMac and I have a PC, and I like my iMac for like I found for artsy stuff, photo shit, stuff like that. I find Apple is fantastic, but when it comes to installing programs and using actual programs, I prefer my PC.
I've been suffering this MacBook Pro for the best part of a month, and I'm ready to throw it out the window.
It's hard to get used to it, yeah.
Yeah.
There's nothing. The only good Apple is a jailbroken Apple. That is the only Apple I've ever owned, and that was Apple TV, and I bought it on Craigslist because I wanted to jailbreak it and put XBMC on.
See, that's where I got my first taste of XBMC. Actually, was through an Apple TV, and it was fun because I was SSHing into the box and then adding all that code, and that was fun. That got me hooked on it.
No, I went straight to. I got an Acer Revo and put OpenELEC on it. That's the first thing I bought.
Oh, see, I like OpenELEC too.
After my Xbox.
I still have that on my Nuke.
The only Apple I like is Granny Smith's.
I like Granny Smith's.
Granny Smith's.
They're awesome.
I did like my iPad. I was always a big fan of my iPad. I didn't like the iPhone because it's too restrictive. You know, not being able to slide shit onto it, not being able to slide shit off of it. Christ, I had a whole bunch of pictures on my iMac. Try figuring out how to get your pictures off of an iMac. Like, I mean, on a PC, you just go to the folder, slide them, boom, they're off. You throw them on an external hard drive. Do that on a friggin' Mac. It's a pain in the
what I hate is about Apple, when I first had an iPad, was like, at the time, you can only, I don't know if it's still true now, because I haven't had one for years, but you could only use Apple with Apple products.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
it's just so annoying.
Yeah, it is annoying.
Costs a fortune.
When you had to jailbreak shit in order to have Kodi, you know, Android, you just throw Kodi on.
Yeah. Android's like, come on. Hey, I will say, Diana, I posted a link to slickdeals.net. Now, it's not just for laptops or this app, but watch that website. That website is I check that every single day, if not times a day.
Don't click that link. Slick Deals is for anal lube. Don't.
So it has good deals about a lot of stuff, and you can actually put certain tags that you're looking for certain items. But it has
anal lube.
They do sell that. They do sell that product if you look watching the big barrels. But they have great deals. That is the one site I check every single day.
Is that where you first saw your TV real cheap? And then
yes, that was how I got my TV. And
he's been bulk buying lube, and it's months until his birthday. He's not even getting any.
Is it only until September
for America though?
Yeah, is that like American website, or is it shipping international?
Yeah, it's an American. I don't see any UK links. You'd have to look if there's a slickdeals.uk or something.
Does it ship?
Don't worry, Todd. The price will be going up when they fucking tariffs kick in, buddy.
Yeah. the thing is, right? So you're not ordering from Slick Deals. What it is just a message board that people can post where they find a good deal. They post it, and then people can comment to that. Hey, use this code and you'll get a little bit cheaper. Like for example,
Todd's in full salesman flow here. He doesn't care as long as there's no tariffs and no loop. He ain't giving a fuck.
I need to be using my affiliate link on this.
Damn it, Griff, I missed you.
Griff, what are you talking about? What's tariffs?
Oh, friggin' Trump.
Tariffs is where like your country charges extra money for exports to come in.
So it's like a tax on stuff coming in. So if like
he increases tariffs on Mexico, Mexico charges more for the stuff to come into your country, which means you pay more for it. That's what happens.
So when Todd's buying like 2 gallons of anal lube for China, he's going to have to pay like $1.50 now instead of 75 cents.
It's worth it. It's worth it. All right. So Diamond Bill posted another one. So I saw 18.3 put out a few changes. One of the things I noticed on that was it was like the Dolby sound. They added an extra Dolby sound. They also added a bunch of hold on.
Have they added anything for it to stop fucking crashing?
Well, they said they not be using that open elect is probably what they're going to say.
17.6 here.
God, go easy on
him. Easy on him. What? Who?
Griff.
On Griff? Hell no. I'm not going easy on that old fucker. All right.
17.6, 18.3 is a piece of shit.
Yeah. Well, actually,
I don't know why I'm using 18.2. And I am not having any issues. I don't know what issues you are having. I have none. It runs like a smooth baby.
Yeah,
I haven't actually tried 18.3 yet.
Yeah, 18.2 runs like a baby on mine. It's fucking annoying and cries and crashes a lot.
I must not fucking like you. You don't teach it.
Griff, stop it. You're giving me hot flashes.
Hot flashes. But I will say the only thing cool, and none of you have an NVIDIA Shield because you're all cheap fucks.
I've got a shield.
Hey now.
I've got a shield. I don't use it. It's a piece of shit.
The only cool thing about the Shield, if you have 18, is that you actually can, where the keyboard, the quirky keyboard thing pops up.
I don't know about the quirky keyboard. I've got a query keyboard.
There it is, query. You actually can use your mic to do like with SPMC. It'll auto fill. But that's funny.
Yeah, you ever tried it? You ever tried that with a Scottish fucking accent, buddy?
No, I use the Southern. It's pretty good with Southern. Yeah, it's not
probably good with your accent.
Yeah.
Oh, Cara, you've no chance. It's never going to understand you.
Fucked. I am fucked. I'm fucked. Doesn't understand me. Nothing understands me.
I know. I remember when we first started hanging out with Kara. I needed subtitles. Griff, I got about half what he said. Kara, I got like 10%.
You got nothing when I went into a rant back in the days about that DVD prick.
We move on, Kara.
I couldn't even I used to heavy rant at him. I couldn't even understand myself.
Well, I could understand the swear words.
Yeah, I honestly thought for the longest time that ARB was Scottish, but apparently he's just right on the border.
Yeah, give it time. Give it time. The border might move.
That's pretty a good, cool idea about Carl trying to come out to you, but then you're saying, "Oh, we'll come out to you." I think you should come out to us.
Did you say we should commit you? Because I agree with that 100%. We got a mental hospital here that's fantastic.
She wants you to come into her.
Oh, okay. I didn't get that part.
I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that.
Put you in the loony bin.
I mean, that would be good if you come here.
Come here.
She wants you to come over to Scotland.
Griff, thank you, Griff.
Griff's the translator. Universal translator.
It's bad if I'm the translator.
I totally get you all the time. I'm okay with you.
Do you know? And I haven't watched the video yet, but there's a video you and Todd did, And I didn't want to turn it on because I thought this is going to be pornographic. And then I thought, is it kind of like John Lennon and Yoko, like you're going to be in bed when you're on video or something?
That would have actually been perfect way to do a fork.
Yeah.
Right now we're going to show you how to do a fork.
Yeah, we're going to be forking all day.
We're going to be making plugins.
I'm not forking all day at this age.
Well, I'll be forking for 30 seconds.
Maybe forking all day. Come on.
Some furious forking for 30 seconds.
Yes.
Hey, Joe Apps, how you doing? Let's see. It says One-Legged Wonder says you can use autofill with the voice on 18. Yes, if you have a voice thing, but if it's on, it would like to help me out. I'm dyslexic. It does work if you use a shield. You cannot use the Amazon voice thing. It doesn't work.
You can't be dyslexic if you fucking typed it correctly, which it looks
if you're talking it, it doesn't pick up. It doesn't turn dyslexic. You're typing it, you might type it dyslexic. My sister's dyslexic.
If you're pished, it'll come out dyslexic.
Or if you're Scottish, it's not going to get a fucking word.
No, it's going to get fuck all then.
It's on the phone.
Okay, all right. So I'm gonna go back to actually answering a question.
Hey, I've been asking questions. You just ignore me.
I do. I was good at that. So I'm looking at there's some of the fixes for 18.3.
Oh, Jesus. Talk about Kodi.
Yeah, added support to DTS-HD.
Oh, Jesus.
So it's getting them high def.
Can we not talk about porn or lesbians or something?
Oh, wait a minute. Butcher, what t-shirt are you wearing? You're not wearing your Kodi t-shirt, so we can't talk about it.
I know. I'm wearing. This is my dragon from when I went to up the mountain.
See, well, we can't talk about Kodi because if you wore your Kodi t-shirt, we knew it would be Kodi. So I'll open it up to the flare that we can discuss and divulge anything.
So we're allowed to talk about anything since I didn't wear a Kodi shirt. Yeah, I'm not supporting Kodi today.
No Kodi, no Plex. Right, something else.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're supporting that Sports Devil.
Huh?
Oh, the Sports Devil.
Sports Devil. Oh, is that Sports Devil t-shirt?
No, it's not sports. It's the dragons.
Was it Tail of the Dragon or
I just see the horns. Look like a devil.
He drives really fast in his old car.
Oh.
Devil's Triangle. It is a devil.
Is it a band?
It was a road. It was a road, and I don't like to talk about it because I don't have that car anymore. So
it's a lot of dudes that get together with the exact same kind of car would go meet at the same time.
Yes.
And they tried to throw
I remember hearing all about this.
I used to do that. That was brilliant.
God, I remember the Hangouts talking about that. My God, that was a good way to get sleep.
My God.
Hey, Todd, your car died.
Shut up.
Oh, it did.
Yeah, Diana, the dragon, Devil's Triangle, because I would go up to the dragon's tail and we would.
I thought. See when you said Devil's Triangle, I thought you were talking about your ex-wife.
Oh God, we could go a long ways on that one. I went to the Devil's Triangle, which was just into Tennessee. So that was one of the places we.
Ding 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 ding.
But not anymore.
It's right up in the mountains. You don't want to.
I'd like you to meet my wife and my cousin.
Oh my God, that was the worst deliverance song I ever heard, though. Ding 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 ding.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that was funny.
Yeah, that's better.
I don't know.
I was doing a banjo with a Scottish accent.
Now I have a Honda Civic, so I'm not doing those kind of drives anymore.
Yeah, the midlife crisis car is gone.
You're going to pick up your pension.
Hey, now he's got himself a good old family car.
Honda Civic, Jesus Christ, bitch! Come on, you could have something better than that.
I could.
I can't talk. I've got a fucking CRV. No, my wife's got a CRV. I have to drive it.
Nah, he wanted to go get a good deal on something and not have to pay 10.
Yeah,
this is just friends talking now.
What ARB? What kind of car do you drive?
Oh God,
Fiat
I've got
Panda.
a bloody box.
Fiat Panda.
What?
Fiat Panda.
He rides a liquor sickle.
Hey, all right, so I'm in the States now. I don't know anybody in the chat. I don't know if you guys ever heard of a liquor sickle. Give the people a few seconds. How many people in the chat have heard of a liquor sickle?
Nope.
I've never heard that.
Nice, you guys. All right, hold on.
You guys have,
give it about 15, 20 seconds. Let's see what the people that are watching on the side see.
Liquor
How
sickle.
many's
That
watching
might be a
this?
Todd thing, though.
No,
Because I'd never heard that before you.
it's Americans.
It
Americans.
makes sense.
Hold on a second. We're waiting.
Nobody's answered. Nope. Somebody said Diana said no.
Okay. No.
No.
All right. Liquor sickle. All right. So anybody seen anybody that's gotten a DWI and lost your license, or they lost their license? Now they're driving a moped. It's called a liquor sickle.
Because they took their car away because they were driving drunk.
They take your license and
Now they're on those little friggin' scooters.
Yeah, moped don't. You can drive a moped without a license.
Yeah,
liquor sickles.
Or is it known as in the NHS in the UK donors?
Yeah, donors. Well, you guys have narrow roads. Our roads have a little bit more room, but yeah, it's out here. Yeah, my daughter took one of them guys out one time, but that's another story. Clipped him.
Yes.
But
somebody in your chat asked before, are Kodi add-ons a thing of the past?
No. God, no.
What's Kodi?
Yeah, YouTube. No, all three of you.
What add-ons are actually out there now? I have been off the scene for so long. What are
there's Exodus, Mashup, Phoenix,
Bob, Xunity,
NaviX, Xunity, iStream,
Sports
Devil,
Nanny X.
Nanny X. That never got off the ground.
Oh God, that would have been a classic.
God, imagine Adam if that was released.
Oh, that would have been hilarious.
Best. One channel, someone said, yes. Ice, yeah. One channel was just Ice Films, wasn't it? Is it the same thing? Or was it one channel and Ice Films? Or two separate?
I remember seeing the Ice Films. And Darren, no, Destiny is not a thing of the past. What's happened with Destiny? The developer that created Destiny created it. On the entrance, when he put it out there publicly, he says anybody can use it, fork it, do whatever you want with it. He says I created this for the community to use, and he says I'm hoping that people take it and run with it and actually develop it even more. He developed it for about a month and a half. He worked on it 6 months before he released it publicly. He worked on it for about a month and a half publicly. And then he has some family stuff going on, work. He doesn't have time. So he said, hey, I don't have time for this. I've got to just leave it like it is. So it still works. And now there's numerous people taking and making forks with it. Like we said.
Hey, but I did hear that somebody is apparently supposed to be taking it on and on behalf of him. I don't know if that's true. I don't know who.
I don't know. I haven't heard that.
Yeah, there's a couple forks that are reliable forks. So,
but I know that Destiny of Death Star, Cal Al, and
you have a hell of a time with that. You need to watch fucking Superman again.
Cal Al.
It's like one word. You say it like it's one word. Cal Al.
Cal Al.
I say
Cal Al. Cal Al.
Yeah, you need to watch Superman again, baby.
It's two different words to me because it's got a slash.
Cal Al and Jor-El.
So you got that. And the only other one that I knew that Diamonds, he was over here in the chat.
7 of 9?
7 of 9, which he took. What he did is he took Destiny and he took his 7 of 9 and one or two other add-ons and entered those into Destiny. So they're part of. So instead of having separate add-ons, it's all integrated into one.
Cool.
So, but the thing is that for right now, if you go and get the Death Star, one of those others, those are going to be maintained. If you go and get the Destiny zip from the group, that's not really being maintained moving forward. It still works, but if something starts to not work, there's not somebody going to fix it and push an update.
It's one of those add-ons that has its own internal scrapers. So the only person fixing them then is you.
Right.
Right.
If you don't know how to fix scrapers,
I tried and looked at the zip, and I was looking at the code, and I thought, nah, fuck that. I can't even understand what that is, where that goes, what that does. I'm like, no, done.
It is.
It's,
It is. It's
it's quite hard to understand it.
it's very intimidating if you go through and look at that default pie. It's
Yeah, that's where I started, and I thought,
Huge, yeah.
wow.
Did you see our video though, where we show you how to move things around?
you need to watch.
Yeah, was that the one from?
That sounds wrong.
Hey,
That was the fork one. We showed you how to
Yes.
fork it, and then we showed you how to change it.
Yes, I've saved that because I was going to go back and review it because I want to add my add-on. And then I thought, you know what? I read the default pie thing and I thought, no, fuck that.
And you know what, Kara? I actually did it, so it's not Todd just babbling for like 8 hours. It's
Right.
me actually doing stuff. So
Wow.
I've seen that. I've seen the agenda for that.
hey, Todd,
It does sound really.
Todd will show you how to turn on RD 26-minute long video.
Fuck.
Jeez. So
Yeah,
He can't help himself.
this is family for you. These are the people that hurt you the most.
That's because you're flamboyant, where I'm more to the point.
All right, but we did a good job because
Jesus blew the foreplay must be fucking awesome with him.
Oh, I mean, you know how I get him so angry, he's like goes like a jackrabbit.
What?
To get him to get to that fucking point in the video is better than I fucking know, I imagine.
Just
oh my god.
You're losing control, Todd. You're losing control.
Well, I knew when I invited two Scots, I knew that I was in trouble.
Two Scots and a Geordie, you've fucking really got trouble.
But yeah, it was but it's not too difficult of an hour. But we did a good job.
It's like your video was like 2.5 hours long, and I'm like, wow, man, that's
just fast forward to the end. They'll probably
no, it wasn't 2.5 hours long for their forking video. No,
it was an hour and a half. But we showed how to change all the settings and stuff. So
yeah, we showed you how to change everything.
But you know, I was kind of.
I will be working on it. It's something that I'm going to try and get my head into. But I did read it, and I thought, no.
Well, Kara, think about it. You get to listen to Blue talk the whole time, so it's a little bit exciting.
But you kind of talk and all sometimes.
Yeah, I made him feel important and included him.
Yeah.
On his own channel.
Yeah, it's on his own channel.
Behind every great man is a manipulating female.
No, when I was doing it, I was nervous too. So he kept me in line and would let me know what was next and next and next to keep me on because I was horrible. I was all over the place.
Yeah.
I find it funny, like when an add-on goes down, or like the developer, like last week, you were talking about, or a week before, you're talking about some people who had left.
Yep.
I think it was Yoda or something. Is that an add-on or is that a scrapers? What's that?
Supremacy shut down, and that was all of his add-ons, which Yoda was one of them. Yes.
All right. Well, like those kind of like the Exodus type ones where the dev just leaves and everyone's like, oh well, what am I going to use now that that's dead? When they don't understand.
Yeah, whose scrapers are going to steal? Yeah,
it's still going to last for a while.
Yeah,
it lasts as long as the site doesn't change or
the funny about ARB is when a developer goes and they go into 3 days of mourning and they want to wear a black armband as if it's like a national tragedy.
Oh my god, I had one lady the other day. She was like, "Oh my god,
back.
I'm in so much
what
trouble.
you've done for Kodi.
This has hit me to my bare bones." I'm like, dude,
it's like a fucking Princess Diana fucking fiasco.
Hey, you don't have fucking cancer.
Yeah.
It's
a fucking add-on. Get over it.
But to be fair, I have been out there so much, but that supremacy thing, actually, like,
don't you start?
I'm in shock.
Don't you start?
Don't just
honestly.
Just don't start.
But I'm like, wow. I just didn't know half of the things. I'm like, because I'm not in the groups and I'm like, sometimes I show my face, sometimes I don't, or I read it and I go talking a lot of shit, can't be bothered listening, and I just bypass it and I don't think it near it, and then I go, oh, what the hell? And then all of a sudden, like you were saying, like I was listening to the show the day, and I was like, did that really happen, or is that a lie? Is it the truth, or is it a lie?
No, it's the truth because it was posted in the newspaper and on
brutal, innit?
The articles it pulled from whatever the Chelsea newspaper had it posted.
So what add-ons are out there now? Is there still add-ons out there? Aye.
Oh yeah, there's
Right,
add-ons out
there
there, but
is.
it was anything that was on the Supremacy repo,
Repo.
anything on the Maverick repo.
Right. Oh, aye, Magic left. Aye, I heard that. Aye.
Yeah, but
Gaia,
Aye.
Destiny, Jor-El, Destiny Forks. There's a bunch of stuff still. A
Todd-
bunch of good, reliable stuff out there.
Todd,
yes, sir.
the wires are starting to look a bit iffy again.
They are a little bit out of place. I've got numerous things on my counter there. I bought a Fire Stick 4K, $25. So
That's not really a valid excuse though. But I mean, no, that soundbar. Look at the wires behind that. That
Oh,
looks
Jesus.
really shady.
He hasn't had a chance to pick on your wires in a while.
no,
Actually, I helped with that. By the
I know
way,
you play with these wires, but I'm not interested in that part. I'm talking about the.
jackass, do you see the black thing right in behind his little table there? His table's actually see-through, and I made him put a black thing back there to block the cords going down to the floor.
Yeah, that's good. That does look better. But that soundbar, the wires to that soundbar look like a piece of shit. To be honest.
God.
yeah,
Griff, you're more than welcome to come visit and do some wire relocation.
Oh no, you're in charge of his household now. You're tidying up, not me.
In charge of his household.
Listen, we couldn't go and visit Butcher. He's not got enough bedrooms for us all to sleep in.
No,
And I'm not fucking sharing with you.
He's got a cupboard.
hey, both of you are welcome. Come on
We
in.
can talk and tell.
You come
Get
on.
the fuck.
Fuck.
Bring it on. Hey, I've got a big bed. We can all share the big bed.
Oh, Jesus.
No.
No. Andrew's in.
Our house is a very, very fine house. Our house.
Yeah, incest, the game the whole family can play. No thanks.
As none of us are related, we don't have to worry about that.
Well, everybody's a cousin down there.
Well, I'm close to West Virginia, so we're okay.
Are you close to West Virginia?
Or as Griff says, ding, 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 ding.
Yeah, it's John Denver country, isn't it?
That's so
actually
not deliverance. That's horrible.
If only we could afford to go to America. But then I don't know if I want to go to America because Trump's an arsehole.
Hey, Boris is a fucking arsehole as well, so don't start getting uppity about
Let's
it.
all come to Canada. How about that?
Yeah, that's
Would they
cool.
let you through
President
customs? They wouldn't even let us through customs. Probably shoot us.
Yeah, you can just come to Canada. We just let you wander in. We don't even care.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's our new portal. We're building a wall.
Yeah, they just ask you what it's about.
Oh,
to get
yeah. No, it's what it's about. A boat, not
If
a
you like
boat.
to eat
A boat.
poutine, though, you just got to eat poutine.
Yeah, you're going to say something else there.
Poutine.
Pussy.
Poutine.
Do you like poutine? No, but I like poontang.
You heard it here first.
And another glass of wine, folks.
Actually, that reminds me. I'll be right back.
Don't you?
So, Brown. When you hang out with your friends, I enjoy cutting up with these folks. I mean, you're cutting up. We make fun and have a good time, and that's one thing Blue and we've talked about. She says you don't mind making an ass of yourself. I'm like, I don't. I mean, it's all about having fun and having a good time. And if anybody saw my 51st birthday, I don't mind making an ass of myself. So, there you go. That's a perfect example of I don't take myself too seriously. This is fun.
Life's too short.
Yeah,
I'll be honest. See this show.
Been in a chat together for ages.
Yeah,
No, we haven't.
this show got me through some dark times sitting in a hospital bed. So this show cheered me up sometimes.
Yeah, I'm glad. Look there. I'm helping everyone laying in the beds. I've been trying to help Sarah lay in the bed.
I'm still not sharing a bed with you. Don't start getting any ideas.
She says I need to turn on Skype if you're going to cheer her up in bed.
That time we were all legitimately worried about.
Oh, yeah, that's all right. So
We hadn't heard from him for ages.
when he was sick and we lost contact with him for like a month, and I'm like,
That was
Yeah, he
brutal.
was like, he went on holiday. He was like, yeah, that was a month ago.
That
Still
was
be on holiday.
brutal. You put me through hell, by the way. You really put me through hell. I was in your town looking for you. I didn't know what you looked like, but I was fucking looking for you.
We were Facebooking and everything, trying to find them.
Honestly.
It is so weird.
mother.
We all know, and not everybody know. People don't know your real name. You
Yeah.
know, have ideas of. I mean, certain people of us will say what our names are, but other people don't. So it's like,
Yeah.
There's only like 5 people in Scotland got internet anyway, so it wouldn't.
You know what? I'll tell you guys my real name tonight. It's people call me Shan all the time. Shania Twain.
Yeah.
You might know me from my records.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and she's still the one.
I actually went as far as going and contacting Slim and saying, you know, and messaging him photos, people like off of Facebook. I was a pure freak.
You mean when Griff was missing in action there, and then we all got his real name because we were thinking he was dead? Yeah, that was
When you
awful.
had an unexpected extended holiday.
Oh wow, that was just.
And you found out I was still alive, and ARB had to take that bunting down.
Good. Yeah, we were good.
Bunting was down. So,
Fucking bastard's alive.
I know.
Yeah, cost us a lot of money in balloons.
Yeah, I was going to go to a funeral as well.
Honestly, my mama was like, you just know this guy, and I'm like, Mum, I'm telling you, it feels like he's part of my family. There's something happened. All of a sudden, nobody's heard from him. It's been ages. And I kept sending Slim pictures. He's like, going to stop sending me pictures of people. I'm like, but is that him? And he's like, no, it's not him. And I'm like, is this him? And he's like, no. So I think he ended up.
Slim did say to me, he's like, she's sending nudes every day, and I'm fucking.
I was just trying to get a hold of somebody that knew you.
You're trying to get a hold of anybody.
Anything. I didn't even know what you looked like, and I was away in your hometown where you stay, and I was like, going to run in the car with my man. She's like, do you know what he looks like? I'm like, no, but I might know him if I see him. She went,
I was ringing the McCanns asking where you were.
I saw
Madeline was in the bed next to me.
Oh my god! I remember seeing a picture of you, Griff, when we finally figured out what you actually looked like, and my mind went straight to Deliverance, actually.
Yeah,
you thought I was a pig.
No, you're not what I look. You're not what I thought you'd look like, but no, yeah, you're not ugly.
I'm an ugly fucker.
You never thought thingy, but I was so glad when you were in touch. I was like, wow. That was scary shit, man.
He was in the hospital for freaking 2 months.
For those of you that don't know, Griff almost died when he was on vacation. He got real sick. And he went missing in action.
I remember getting a message saying, oh, they've upgraded us to the villa, and you sent a picture, and then all of a sudden, zero.
I got upgraded to ICU.
Right. I was like, what the fuck, where is he? And I thought, oh, maybe he's lost his phone and he's lost all the contacts. And I'm like, no, this isn't normal. It's scary.
Speaking of holidays, this lad I work with, he just came back from, I think it might have been Turkey. He says he's one of these, them watch sellers. Like, they go on the beach and they try and sell you knock-off watches. Well, he was on the beach and he was...
Lucky man.
Yeah, the lucky man. He was on the beach and he was selling drugs. And then the lifeguard jumped down and went up to him. He goes like, "Listen, please, can you not like sell drugs on the beach?" And the guy pulls out a gun, shot him in the knee. Shot him in the knee.
Really?
So my friend, like when he got back to the hotel, he said that there's some people that were staying in the same hotel with him were saying, no, they rang the holiday company up and like complained and that, and they got 20% off the next holiday and that. So he did the same thing. He did the same thing, and he's like, I've got 20% off my next holiday with Thompson. That's great. Like, what happened to the guy who got his knee shot out?
He didn't get a discount.
He got a prosthetic.
I'll tell you, they say the Scottish are fucking tight, but I mean, you Geordies have got something on it.
What?
Well, you guys shout. We have. I saw an article. There was three swimmers got bit by sharks in the last 2 weeks just off our coast.
Jesus,
sharks are getting.
Why did they not?
A shark.
Why did they not shoot the shark?
You can't
They
shoot.
didn't have their guns in the water, apparently, Griff.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
Their towel in the
You're
sand.
not allowed to carry a gun on the beach.
Really?
Go figure. Come on, that's
Check
where
it
you need them.
What, can you not have an open carry policy on the beach?
Certain places you can't carry it. Can't carry it on the beach.
Actually read something tonight on the paper about some 21-year-old lass from California. There's in Bahamas. Got eaten by 3 tiger sharks.
Yeah. She was out there snorkeling. I saw it with her family and her family.
Yeah. They're shouting on her, and she didn't hear them. She got cornered by these 3 tiger sharks.
Yeah.
And it was pretty detailed. Like they were like saying, "Oh, they bit her right arm off," and
I like the stories for Australia are the best. Like they bite the leg off, and then the swimmer takes the leg and starts hitting the shark over the head with it and stuff like that.
Only in Australia.
I just do what LL Cool J does in Deep Blue Sea, and he just starts stabbing it in the eye with his
I love
cross.
that movie actually.
I was watching that with my mom, and he got like I had already seen it, and he gets attacked.
Yeah.
My mom was like, "No, I don't want him to die. He's such a good character. Don't let him die."
Yeah. Preacher. Or was his name Preacher or something like that?
That's
one of
probably
the weirdest stories I've heard lately that I found, speaking of like weird shit happening in the States, is how many people have been friggin' falling off the Grand Canyon. Looking at their phones, taking selfies, and fucking falling up. There's been 4 that died in like the last 4 months.
Blue, that's just evolution, is it not?
We note the week.
Hey,
Yeah.
I said that about wearing a helmet if you're motorcycle riding. Hey, don't stop stupid.
It's just thinning the herd.
Yeah, before they have a baby, Don't let them repopulate. Get them out of here before they.
So in other words, don't tell them to put on a helmet.
Yeah, no, I don't. That's me. I don't think that you should not be forced to wear a helmet. You should not be forced to wear a seatbelt. I don't think you should be forced to do things that you should not be forced things to protect yourself.
I fully support that for Americans. I fully support that.
Oh, jeez.
If you're smart, you're going to, but for all the dumb ones, let's weed them out.
If you're dumb as fuck, off you pop.
That's my point. Yeah, I mean, you're gonna weed out
like Gary Busey. Look at him; he's a friggin' nut job now. Ever since he hit his coconut on his motorcycle with no helmet.
I can't tell what he's looking at when he's talking. He scares me. One here, one over here. I don't know.
Yeah. He's always been crazy, but now he's like extra crazy.
Right, so he'll probably be president. You fuckers will vote for him.
I sure do feel bad for all the people like Todd who didn't vote for him.
I thought Todd did.
No, God, no.
I thought it was a law down there. You had to.
Hello. Vote or else.
Yeah, no, not me. Actually, I don't know. It's the whole.
Shit, Todd, you'll be on a list.
I know. I probably am not going to get my TSA approved.
Here comes Ice. He looks like a little Mexican. Or he will in a couple of weeks after he's been down at the pool.
I haven't got my tan on yet.
Hey, once he gets down to the pool, he's screwed.
Be like, he's Mexican. Get him south of the border.
Little Chicano, let's go. Look at that little Spanish going.
Where are you from, man? I mean, I'm from America, man. No, you're not, man. Get out of here, man. I know you are.
Plus, he weighs under 200 pounds, so he's not American.
He was laughing because he thought he put on some weight. He's like, look at my gut. Like, oh, geez, I definitely put on weight. Not even a pound. He's exactly the same weight he was
when he was 16.
Yeah, pretty much.
Hey, don't hate this sexy damn body right here.
Take your shirt off.
Stop it.
Strip.
Save that for later, honey. Save that for later.
Yeah, save it for the after show.
Look at
that.
On you go. Get it.
Wait.
Jesus.
That's a jiggle.
Yeah, he thinks he's Homer Simpson now.
Yep.
Yes. Oh, Jesus, I'm huge. I'm like,
I said, look at my gut. It's getting big. He's like, oh, no, that's not. All right.
Todd, put that shit away. Jesus.
Yeah, I'm going. Well, that's funny. Whenever I'm at, we'll be someplace and they'll be talking about food. I'm like, yeah, I'm starting to cut back. I need to cut back on my weight. I'm starting to get fat.
I gotta cut back on my daily fucking Big Mac.
Or maybe,
Oh my God.
Yeah, you're fading away to a shadow.
Maybe some of my M&Ms.
He eats like crazy, but Jesus, yesterday at work, he walked 20,000 steps just at work.
Yeah, it was 20,000 steps yesterday. Yep, it was. I get me some steps in.
Yeah, I get like 200. That's what having a desk job does to you. 200 steps a day.
I look like Frank Zappa. I wish I kind of did. Well, a little bit. Frank Zappa's hair is a little bit more wild than mine. I need to get the frizzy.
Tony Stark, baby. Tony Stark.
Yeah.
No, Edward Snowden, he looks like.
Edward Snowden. No.
He does. Look at the picture.
No, he doesn't. You look more like Edward Snowden than he does. Actually,
yeah, just because I live in a country with no sunlight.
Grace.
There was this. It's funny in the Destiny chat. One of the guys, he's from the UK. He says, "There's this orange thing in the sky. I need to go outside. I haven't seen it in so long." He says, "I need to go outside to investigate."
Yeah, the ginger people are bursting into flames.
You've got a real bad thing about ginger people, you.
Yeah, he totally does.
No ginger children in my family, I can assure you that.
Oh my
I'm
God,
not saying you've got ginger children, but that you shouldn't be discrimination against people like that.
Hey, I save a fortune in hair dye because I don't have ginger children.
Listen.
Do you remember on friggin' what was it, South Park there, and they were talking about how ginger children have no soul?
I missed that one. That sounds good.
Oh, crazy.
There was a comedy show in the UK and they did it, and it was as if the ginger people were in witness protection, and then after the police spoke to them, they were like, "Burn my clothes, burn this desk," as if you catch ginger.
Jesus.
How much do you think it would be for you guys to come in here?
Not much, actually. It wouldn't be too bad.
What do you think the flights would cost?
Couple of grand, probably.
What the question for closed caption is? She says, "How much would it cost for us to go to the Scotland?"
See, you can understand it now.
Yeah, that was right, Todd. That was right. Way to go.
Did you understand what I said?
He's looking it up right now, probably. I'd say a couple grand with flight and hotel.
Really?
Yeah.
All right. So where would I fly into? Glasgow?
Yeah.
Yes, Glasgow Airport.
Glasgow?
Glasgow with an S.
Glasgow.
Hey, my food's here.
Oh. Is it Chow?
His food's here.
Yeah.
That sounded like a dog.
He always orders his food, on friggin' show night. Then he won't eat it, and then he'll whine about the fact that he didn't eat it. I'm like, well, just eat it.
Does he eat out all the time, or does he make food?
Of course, he eats it all the time. He's not got a wife.
He's half and half. No, he cooks a lot. He's actually a really good cook. Yeah, he's a good cook.
Oh.
Yeah. That's my bitch.
Yeah. That's the way it should be.
Yeah.
Secret.
Make me a sandwich, bitch.
That's fucking shocking.
There you go, honey. Get used to it, Griff.
Keep them barefoot and pregnant in the kitchen.
Honey.
What did you get to eat?
Pizza?
Oh,
Putang.
Pizza. Does he like all that stuffing on it?
Yeah, punani.
Oh, that looks good, actually.
What is it he's
What's
going?
on that? What is on that? It's not pineapple, is it? Oh,
I love pineapple on my pizza. It's called
you
Hawaiian.
disgust me.
Hawaiian for
You're absolutely disgusting pig.
Yeah.
You guys are friggin' weird.
I don't like pineapple on a pizza either.
Wait a minute. He's from Newcastle. They avoid fruit and veg like the plague.
I avoid fruit and veg like the plague, and I'm from Glasgow.
Yeah,
Have you ever actually tried pineapple on a pizza?
Honestly, I couldn't. It really is against my religion.
Okay, well then you don't know. You can't say unless you actually try it. You can't.
Look, Cara's idea of 5 a day is eating some opal fruits.
Yes.
I like bolognese pizza.
You like what?
Bolognese pizza.
Well,
That's
bolognese. What the hell is that? Bolognese?
Bolognese? Never had spaghetti bowl? Spag bowl?
Spag bowl?
What the fuck?
This is getting lost in translation somewhere over the mid-Atlantic.
I like chicken tikka pizza as well.
I like what is that? Spicy chicken pizza, and I also like kebab pizza.
Kebab pizza. Fuck.
And you get kebab on that pizza.
That is
Jesus
weird. That's
Christ.
weird.
Wow, man,
Is that
dude,
amazing?
whoa, $1,300
For what?
for me to fly to Glock going back.
Is that a return?
That's 2 stops, and then
See, mine's 800.
2 stops? Where do you
Non-stop.
stop?
Try,
Non-stop.
Todd, try Icelandic Air. They do good deals.
cheapest. Well, cheapest is $1,100.
How come mine's cheaper?
I don't know, because you're
Because we like it. We like Canadians.
Because I'm awesome.
But then how have you got 2 stops? What's the 2 stops?
MCO, which looks like.
Oh, somebody in the chat mentioned munchie boxes.
Oh,
My girlfriend loves them.
Man,
I
My
love
girlfriend loves them. They're disgusting. They look horrible. Looks like someone shit in a box.
it does. It looks like a mess when you get it.
Munchie boxes. That's a good add-on name for a lesbian.
Munchie boxes.
Buddy.
That's another potential porn add-on.
No.
Lesbian add-on munchie box.
that's a great. Hey, let Carl know about that one.
That's a new one for Carl. You can rebrand Let's Be Friends.
There is some stoppers in JFK. But damn,
Blue, do you have any stops? Do you have to? Can you get one plane over here?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you get the one plane. Maybe it's
For
because you've got 2 stops.
278 Canadian.
It's because we like Canadians. We're trying to
How
persuade
long is your
Americans.
flight then, Blue?
It says 7 hours and 20 minutes.
And how long are you, Butcher?
it was like 10 hours or 11 hours.
It's not that long. Not much longer. Fuck getting off in 2 stops. Can you not get a direct flight? No.
Can you not just get a canoe or something?
Get a
Honestly,
canoe.
I think we should seriously do a Kodi convention in the UK.
Definitely. Carol. I can never say that guy's name, man. I swear to
Yeah,
God.
but Scottish people can't say Carol.
I
Carl?
can't do it.
Carl,
I can't do it. Because I
One
sent
big
him
Kodi
a
convention to
You
get
call him Carl,
everyone in the same
like
place
Carl
so
or
we can all be
Kal-El.
arrested.
Hey,
Yes.
Sarah, just call him
Yeah.
Carl, just like Kal-El.
I know.
Carl.
I should just call him a Neil, but I sent him a wee voice message and I was like, "Hi, Carl."
Carl.
I just couldn't do it. And he must piss himself laughing at my voice note because he must be like, "You still can't say my name." I just can't do it. I try so hard, but I just can't do it. I like
it's something about the Scottish accent, but they all become a girl called Carol.
Aye, Carol. It's just I don't know. It's weird. It's weird, but I do think he would love that. He would love our code, but I don't know where he is, mind you.
He's down south.
He's down south. Because it would be amazing. But Butcher, would it not be cheaper for you to fly to Blue and then the 2 of you get a flight together? No.
No.
I don't think so.
No.
Although hopefully it won't be long before he's like actually here and then fly it
Yeah.
together anyway.
Yeah.
Can you not get it in your Civic?
Yeah, drive over.
Chitty chitty bang bang. You know.
Actually, do you know something? See if you do come over, Todd. There's a place just outside Glasgow called Mulgai, and that's where all the pensioners go with their Honda Civics. I'll take you there.
The pensioner.
There's a sign outside that says "Welcome to Mulgai. Please allow more time for your journey." Because there's just all these blue unsolved fuckers just waiting to die. Just checking their hair in the fucking rear view mirror.
Oh my God.
Honestly, it's like God's waiting room. I swear to God.
Oh, you're mental, so yeah.
I used to work there. It was the bane of my life when I had to work there.
Oh my
Oh,
God.
it's so funny.
Oh no, especially a Thursday. A Thursday when it was pension day, when all these fuckers got paid, you couldn't get near a shop.
No, you couldn't. You couldn't.
They're out en masse spending their money.
Oh,
They're all in the middle of the road on that bloody little scooters.
Yeah, or, no, do you know what they do? They drive with the Honda Civics with the wing mirrors folded in because they don't fucking use them, and they just drive down the road and they're oblivious to this queue of traffic behind them.
Do they? But I just want to know: do the Honda Civics have that tail fin on it to make sure they're on the road right? Because I always like it when I see these like little 4-door cars and they got like a whale tail or like a little fin on the back. You know what I'm talking about? You guys got those?
A whale tail was on a Sierra Cosworth and it could do 150 mile an hour.
Right,
Blow the doors off your fucking Civic.
They put it on a little Civic of that or just a regular tail on it. It's like, really? You need that to bite the road because you're turning so quickly?
Yeah. They're best for Kodi knows all about it. Driving at 20 mile per hour. That's exactly what they were like. Fortunately, when I was rocking through Gaia, I had my Subaru, so I could overtake the fuckers on the wrong side of the road.
What's going on? What would we fly into the JFK?
Yeah, JFK's New York.
Yes.
Oh no,
don't fly into the actual airport. Don't fly into the actual airport. It'll be a bloody another terrorist situation.
Actually, Glasgow Airport's unique. Glasgow Airport is where the terrorists have to be saved.
Oh, don't you
from the public?
Don't you dare! We've been in this situation before. Every time man Glasgow Airport's mentioned, you always bring that up.
It's true though. They should have that see when you come through customs. They should have that as a big poster. The terrorists on flames with a guy booting them right in the balls, saying Glasgow welcomes safe travellers.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
This is the kind of conversations we would have in Hangouts. We'd be on Hangouts for
all the time.
Oh, I forgot we're live, aren't we?
Yeah, we're still live.
Yeah, we've literally extended this chat by about an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah. I actually forgot we were on live.
Yeah, maybe we want to take it off now.
I've just been watching the viewers just decreasing.
Yeah, it's way down there.
It was like on 83 people watching when I joined.
And that's because they can't understand you bastards.
No, it's because we stopped talking about Kodi shit. That's why.
Oh, there's only 40 if there's 50 watching now.
So,
I'll
close up the show so that we actually still have a few viewers actually watching before we close.
Yeah,
remember, unsubscribe, thumbs down.
Yeah. One last thing, because there's probably nobody watching anymore. But
Kodi Martins?
If you're going to fork or this or that, leave credits in. There's no reason to take credits out for someone's credit. Yeah. Don't take their credits out. I mean, why? If someone did the work of a scraper or an add-on, leave their name in it. You can add your name in there too, but
remember, put your full name, address, and postcode.
Make it easy.
And your bank account number.
And your bank account number. Don't forget that. Yeah, sort code and account code.
So, all right, Griff, you got anything to finish with the show? I'm gonna go down the list here.
Kodi Martins to you.
That's right.
It's Kodi Martins to us.
Oh,
yeah. I thought this is streaming matters now.
Streaming matters. Honestly, streaming matters sounds like a kind of diarrhea medication.
Oh my god, where do you get this shit from? Literally.
I never thought about a diarrhea medicine. Now, every time I say it, I'm going to think, whoa, streaming matters because I've been constipated for days.
That should be a new line.
Streaming matters to us because we had some curry and Mexican food last night.
Oh my god.
All right, Kara, babe, thanks for joining. Anything you want to finish up before we roll out?
No, not really. Just live your best life.
There you go.
and remember to replace the batteries in your dildo.
And sorry for anybody who doesn't understand me.
You're all right. And Kara says she uses the plug-in, so she's fine. All right. So what about you? You have anything to finish up with?
No, I'm good. I think they've topped everything off tonight. I'm just happy these bastards showed up.
We're down to 46 people watching now. I don't get.
Yeah. We've weeded. We've culled the herd. That's for sure. Gaia matters. Thanks, Darren. All right. ARB. Anything you want to close?
No, just thanks for letting me come in, and it's been a pleasure talking to you all again.
Yeah, we missed you, buddy.
I missed it.
It's fine.
Yeah, you missed the banter.
We'll go. What I'll do is we'll go off live and just bullshit. Just through the Hangouts, but so I'll close up. Thanks for the.
I don't want to have a chat with you after this. I only want to be out like my friends live. I don't want to be friendly with you afterwards.
Yeah, we can go back to hating each other after this.
You didn't pay us £10 to come on to talk to you afterwards.
Oh my god!
Did you get a fucking tenner? He said $5 to me.
I've known him longer.
I'm gonna say yes. That's what you got to do when you're just a lowly, a motherfucking YouTube sensation. You have to pay for guests. Oprah did it, so I figured it's okay for me to pay my guests too.
He pays me.
Streaming matters to us because otherwise it ends up down your leg.
I don't like that. That's a punchline there.
That's a good one.
You ever heard that diarrhea song?
Yeah, it's brilliant.
Diarrhea. When you're running down the lane and you feel a sudden pain, diarrhea.
My kids sing that all the time.
When it's coming out your bum and it looks like pedigree chum, it's diarrhea.
Oh, I've never heard of that.
When it's running past your knee, something like
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
You can YouTube it, it's brilliant. My kids sing it all the time.
When it's running down your knee and you think you've had a wee, it's diarrhea.
That's the one. That's the one.
So this is like the bonus nugget for the people that lasted 2.5 hours.
You're welcome.
Can we get a couple more choruses of diarrhea song? I quite like it.
I don't know any more words.
We need to Google it.
Oh, I can't actually believe
up.
there's a song like that.
That's amazing. It's a brilliant song.
All right, I'm gonna close up because I see this has gone to hell a long time ago.
This whole show's went to hell in a handcart a couple of years back.
What a crap show. Mark says, what a crap show.
He actually wrote that.
Yep. Yes.
He's got a sharp sense of humor too. It really matters to us, Todd.
I had a funny feeling and it squatted all over the ceiling diarrhea.
I'll leave the tagline.
Let him do the tagline, guys. Let him do the tagline. No. Go ahead, Todd. It's okay.
No, because
streaming matters to us.
No,
because
otherwise diarrhea.
So, hey, thanks for watching, folks. We'll be around. I guess we'll have a show next Friday. Thank you for the
I'm banned.
40 people still watching. And hey, thanks to all my friends for joining. I enjoy my friends coming on and us having a good laugh because that's what it's about. Enjoy life because you never know what may happen. So
could get hit by a bus tomorrow.
You could.
And you'll have diarrhea in your pants.
You could die from severe diarrhea.
Oh my god! I hope to God nobody actually does.
Oh my god! Imagine that on your tombstone. Really nice guy died of diarrhea.
Explosive diarrhea.
Cause of death. Cause of death. Explosive diarrhea. That'd be one of the worst ways to die.
Us because
somebody's wrote streaming matters has turned to shit.
Maybe you should just end it. Just prematurely end it.
Bye.
Yeah.
Not your life. Just stream.
Never do that. Okay, I'll talk to y'all later. See you next week.